you guys. As well as Wade, thank you so much for the $23 over on PayPal. I really appreciate you for that love, Wade. I can't quite define adrenaline for my intellect, a guiding star for your generation. I shall continue to fund you. Happy birthday. Well, I appreciate you for that love, Wade. Thank you for the $23, man. I want to get 230 Wade W's down below in that chat. I really appreciate you for your kindness. Let's show some Wade down below. Some love to Wade down below while we're looking for that next Trump supporter. As well as Jeffrey, thank you so much for the $10. And Iris with the $10 as well. Thank you both. Jeffrey, Wade, and Iris. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Ben looks like he is leaving before the conversation even starts. Goodbye, Ben. Pack it up. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you're a MAGA adult that wants to come up here and have a chat with us about why you support Trump. We are really struggling today to find them. I don't know where they went. I think that maybe they're boycotting me. All of the Trump supporters in the world determined that they can't beat me, so now they'll just ignore me. Try to ignore the problem. It'll go away. I don't know. Welcome in. What's up, kid? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you have a name outside of Kid that you'd like me to refer to you as? I feel like...
No, that's what I go by.
Okay, sounds good, man. Give me a second here. I got to thank Cynthia for the $21 over on Venmo, saying happy early 21st birthday. Have a drink on me because I know these people are testing your patience. Thank you, Cynthia. I will be having a drink on you this evening at 12:30 a.m. Thank you for the love, Cynthia. As well as Maggie with the $10, saying big thank you from two liberals, myself and my brother. Thank you so much, Maggie and Maggie's brother. And then Annalise with a 5. Thank you so much. Hey, take it away. Why are you MAGA? You have my full attention.
Well, part of the reason was I didn't really care for Harris and Walt's combination. Mm-hmm. Waltz couldn't keep from putting his foot in his mouth in most of his lectures and stuff. And most of the...
I don't even know what that means. I'm going to be honest.
Well, let's see. He made the faux pas saying he was friends with school shooters. He made the faux pas of they couldn't handle 4 more years when his party was actually in office. And then the biggest one is the stolen valor that he claims.
Okay, so about point number 2, saying he can't handle the 4 more years. That one was just incoherent. Okay, I don't even know what you just meant when you said that. About point number 1, about the slip of the tongue when he said
you don't understand when Walt said that.
Do you mind if I finish? Now about
go ahead. It's your show.
Now about point number 1. About him slipping up and saying he's friends with school shooters, right? I remember that. He did say that. That was, that wasn't optimal. Okay. But I'll definitely take a VP who has their tongue slip over a P who's a rapist. Come on.
Convicted in a criminal court.
Held civilly liable in a civil court.
And what do you know about civil court? You only have to prove about 50% of the accusation.
Well, it's going to be what is clear via preponderance of evidence, which would suggest a standard of evidence that is 51% or above. However, in this court, I believe that they proved it significantly further beyond 51%.
Still civil, not criminal.
I think that this ruling would have been upheld in a criminal court.
Well, why didn't they take it to criminal court?
Because the statute of limitations had passed.
Well, there you go. I also support him cutting child support, or not child support, but the food stamps, whatever you want to call it.
Why?
Why? Because there's over abuse of it.
There's over abuse. So, first and foremost, when you defund it and you ensure that less people will
let me ask you a question. You used a hypothetical the other day.
Okay, can I finish talking?
You used a hypothetical.
I don't appreciate your interruption, my friend.
Well, I'm sorry, but you used a hypothetical the other day, 100 people.
I'm going to mute you.
Why, you don't want to hear what your hypothetical was? Was your hypothetical?
I just want to be able to finish speaking without you interrupting me. That's all I'm asking for. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Trump supporters. A lot of you guys cry about how I mute people sometimes, but then when I don't mute people, I just get interrupted. But anyways, I appreciate that from you. So let's go back to what we were talking about. So you said that you agree with the Trump administration to funding food stamps by $156 billion per year and kicking 3 million Americans off of it, which will cause people to starve, which will cause an increase in childhood poverty, and will cause a reduction in the average socioeconomic standing of Americans due to the fact that low-income Americans are going to have less economic mobility. And you support that because you think that there's too much fraud and abuse of food stamps. So I have 2 questions for you that I'm going to need you to answer. The first question would be, well, what is the fraud that is occurring on food stamps? And how does the BBB specifically target that fraud to reduce it?
Well, the fraud that I see most every day is people not working and just living off the food stamps.
Okay. All right. Well, you're already misled, sir. Food stamps have already had a work requirement on them. The introduction of a new work requirement under the beautiful bill was actually on Medicaid.
So here's the thing. Yes, they have work requirements, but it doesn't help when the people in the offices are telling people on food stamps how to circumvent the work requirements.
You can't circumvent a work requirement.
Yes, they can.
How can you circumvent a work requirement?
Because all you have to do is prove that you've been looking for a job or did some kind of job. And I'm sorry, but I know people that they sell Mary Kay as a job or Avon, which is not true.
Wait. So first and foremost, if like the sale of that is legal, and I appreciate you for like blurring your word, or even like Avon, like I'm pretty sure if like you're generating an income and you're reporting as like on a 1099K, right? That is going to be a job, right? You're paying taxes, you're generating, you're making money, right? I'm confused. I don't understand what your point would be.
Because they're not really doing it.
They're not really doing it. They're making money. They're working and they're making money.
No, they're selling it for someone else that's making the money.
And they get what? A commission. That's how sales work.
Well, I don't have any proof that they're getting a commission, but
if they weren't getting a commission, then why would they do it?
Do you know anyone that's on it?
Do I know anyone that is on food stamps? I do.
Personally?
Yes.
Well, you know, what's aggravating for me is I work a 40-hour-a-week job. I go in, buy my groceries, and somebody on food stamps has got an $800 food stamp card, and I'm barely spending $200 every 2 weeks on groceries. So tell me how that is right.
Okay, so you're basically upset that like low-income Americans get these benefits and you don't? Well, let me ask you a question. How much money do you make annually, if you don't mind telling me?
I make a good amount of money.
Okay, so all things considered, would you rather be in the position that you are today, making a good amount of money without food stamps, or in the position of making like $20,000 a year with food stamps? What position is preferable for you?
Believe it or not, sometimes it's debatable.
Right now, today.
If I could stay at home and live off food stamps, I'd do it.
Okay, so you can't stay at home. You got to work because there's a work requirement on them.
I just got to prove that I'm trying to work.
You got to, it's that you have to prove that you are working.
I know you can read everything and what it says it's supposed to be, but I'm just telling you, out in the real world, that ain't how it always works.
Okay, well, we're at a rock and a hard place where we have you, who is just saying words, and me, who's like giving you the facts. Like,
well, can I use your hypothetical from the other day?
You could go on USDA.gov and read how they have an 80-hour per month work requirement on food stamps. I'm giving you the facts, and I'm giving you where you could find the facts, okay? Right? But just assuming for whatever reason you're right and I'm wrong, we live in a land of delusion where you could just assume whatever you want to be true and ignore what is true of reality because you determine what's true of reality. Well, then even in that scenario, why would you support the big beautiful bill? Because the big beautiful bill doesn't do anything to target the supposed fraud that you're describing. There's no new provisions requiring a greater burden of proof to demonstrate that you're working. It is just simply defunding it by $156 billion per year, therefore kicking 3 million people off as states will not be able to pick up the totality of that burden. Okay? So the people that are losing food stamps aren't just these individuals that are defrauding the system. However, it is going to be your low-income single mother of 5 who's reliant on food stamps to feed her kids while she's working 45 hours a week and also getting an online trade school degree. Feel free to unmute, my friend. I sent you an invite. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Would you like to respond to what I just said?
I mean, the big thing there is a single mother of 5. So where's the father at in all this? And
I don't know. Maybe you could assume that he died from cancer because Trump took away his Medicaid. Did you know that Donald Trump
Wow.
under the
A
Big Beautiful
single
Bill
mother of five
also
with
took Medicaid
single
away?
mother of
Did you also
five
know that
with
Donald Trump's Big
one
Beautiful
hand.
Bill took Medicaid away from 10 million low-income Americans?
Yeah, and I also know that it actually needs better regulations on it.
Better regulations on Medicaid?
Yeah.
So what he changed with it is he just imposed a work requirement on it. So like before the Big Beautiful Bill, if you were a low-income American and you didn't work, you could get Medicaid. After the Big Beautiful Bill, if you're a low-income American and you're not working, you can no longer get Medicaid given that you're able-bodied. And I actually very strongly disagree with that. I don't think that necessary social safety nets should have a work requirement on them.
Oh, sorry, I was watching football.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
I'll repeat what I just said. So what Donald Trump changed to Medicaid was he imposed a work requirement on it.
He
So now if you're
imposed work requirements, yes.
precisely, and I very strongly disagree with that. What about you?
Well, if they're able to work, then no, I don't disagree with it.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, do you think if you are able to work but you're not working as a low-income American that you should be able to call 911 to report a crime?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's a crime. That's what 911's for.
Okay, so you're saying that they should still be able to access 911 because that's what 911 is for. So therefore, why don't we just say if you're a low-income American, you're able to work but you don't work, and you develop a, I don't know, like a little bit of a skin blot, and you need to get checked out, maybe it's cancer, you should be able to go to the hospital and get that for free. Because
Well,
that's
I'm
what
pretty sure if you
hospitals
go
are
to the
for.
hospital without insurance, they're still going to see you anyway.
Well, no, we'd be assuming in this hypothetical world that they have Medicaid and it just simply doesn't have a work requirement on it. Like, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I think that going to the hospital is necessary sometimes. It extends your life. It keeps you alive. Just like calling the cops is necessary sometimes. You got to report a crime. It's conducive towards better outcomes for society as a whole, as well as conducive towards better outcomes for those that are reliant upon those social safety nets. You know, like if I'm reliant on a police officer to show up to, get a home intruder out of my house, or society is reliant on police in all 50 states as a whole to keep us safe and stop vandalism, violent crime, etc. That's something that should be able to be accessed by anybody that needs it, right? Very similarly, when we're looking at Medicaid, okay, well, like this is a system that ensures people could go to their annual physical. This is a system that ensures that people could get that, that weird skin tag checked out. This is a system that ensures that maybe if you have cancer, but you're still technically able to work in accordance with the Social Security Administration's guidelines, that you could get treatment for that cancer for free, right? It's very necessary, just like calling the cops. And that's why I think that it shouldn't have a work requirement on it, just like calling the cops.
Okay, so I work, I pay for insurance. If I go get a skin tag looked at, if I go get a mold checked out, or anything, what happens to my insurance? Eventually, my payments are going to go up. But yet,
Okay.
somebody who has the same thing with Medicare, what's going to happen to theirs? It's going to stay the same. They're not going to pay for it.
Okay, so now you're telling me
So
that it's
Who's paying for their Medicare?
the same people that pay for the police force, which would be the taxpayer,
Yeah, me.
right? You also pay for the police for low-income Americans that are able to work that don't work, and you said they should be able to call them.
Well, honestly, I think anybody that's able to work needs to work.
Okay. Well, I mean, I could agree that if you're able to work, you should work. I just think that governmental policy to incentivize said work should be separate and decoupled from necessary social safety nets that save lives, like the hospital.
So you know what the stats are of people that don't work that are losing their Medicaid?
Yeah, 10 million in the next 10 years.
But you know that for a fact that those people that don't work are going to lose it.
Yeah, according to both the CBO as well as the
According
CMS.
according to what you've read, but
Right.
you don't know.
And that's actually a conservative estimate.
It's a hypothetical that you read it, and that's what it says it's going to do, but you don't know till it happens.
No, this is an estimate by Republicans in Congress.
Which is a hypothetical estimate.
Okay, so now you're just like rejecting like economic data and projections.
No, I'm just
given to us
saying
by
you're
the
very well
conservatives in
read and you
Congress.
know your knowledge, but things don't always work out like you think they do in the real world.
But that's going to be what we have the most reason to believe will occur. Okay.
All right, so
Can I talk now? Just listen to me. That's what we're going to have the most
dude,
reason.
I'm trying to give you a hypothetical you used the other day, and you still not let me do that yet.
Listen, so like 10 million people losing access to their Medicaid in the next 10 years is what we have most reason to believe will occur. I understand that not every projection ever from like every economic institution ever will always be accurate. However, in the context of this conversation, we're trying to have a back and forth dialogue of what will occur in the next 10 years because the Big Beautiful Bill was passed. And the most likely outcome will be that 10 million people will lose service. And if you're telling me that I don't have sufficient reason to believe in the most likely outcome because it's merely a projection and projections can be wrong, well, what the inverse of that would be is that you definitely don't have any reason to believe any other outcome, as today it is less likely than the claim that 10 million people will lose service.
Yeah, I mean, neither one of us can actually tell the truth what will happen.
Okay.
We don't know.
So now you've just regressed your point down to the cave of saying that we have absolutely no clue what will occur in the future. So if you have absolutely no clue what will occur in the future, then why do you support why do you support cuts to SNAP? Because you have absolutely no clue what will occur in the future. You have absolutely no clue if that will actually reduce fraud as you suggested. Because keep in mind, you live in a cave and you do not believe in any projections ever.
I mean, I just got to assume that's what's going to happen, just like you assume.
Oh, well, you actually can't assume that because you just suggested that any and all projections ever are inadequate and you don't believe them. This also means that you never open your weather app, by the way.
Yeah, I don't open my weather app. I can
Yeah,
see
because
out
of those silly fucking projections.
Well, yeah, weather projections are always off. They're never right.
But the thing is that you'd have no better source to reliably dictate what is most likely to occur.
Well, when it comes to weather, yeah, the best source I got is sticking my head out the door.
For like future projections of the weather, my friend.
All right, can I use the hypothetical you used the other day?
Yeah, at this point, I'm just
SNAP?
curious. At this point, I'm just curious.
So your hypothetical was, out of 100 people, 7 people are defrauding it, 93 aren't. And you asked the listener if he still thinks they should cut it. But what if it's turned around and 93 people are frauding it and 7 are using it legally?
Oh, wow. Seems like at that point, I would support policy to not get rid of SNAP benefits, but rather policy to make them better to cut the fraud. Or maybe ask myself, well, why are 97% of people on SNAP to begin with defrauding the system? Is this a greater problem related to an increase in poverty in America, in which is making the material conditions of low-income Americans unbearable to the point where they're willing to break federal law just to get money to buy food to survive?
Now you're getting it.
Maybe this speaks towards a greater issue of poverty in the country, and what can we do to solve it?
Now you're getting it.
I think that those two things are true. I would evaluate the systemic issue of what is causing poverty, as well as I'd advocate for reform of the system. However, you're doing neither of those two things. You're not advocating for a reform of the system. You don't even know what fraud takes place. And you're obviously not advocating for reduction in poverty, since you support a president who is going to increase poverty through many means. And you're just belligerently suggesting that, well, there is poverty. I don't have any evidence. There is a bunch of fraud. I don't have any evidence of it. I'm just going to assume it to be true. And I'm also just going to basically support kicking 3 million random people on the services off and then assume that those are the specific individuals that are defrauding the system. You're just a logical mess.
Well, like I said.
While you think about that one, because it doesn't seem like you know what you want to say, I'm going to thank a couple people. Molly, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Let's get 500 Molly W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much, Molly. Molly with a $50 says, I'm 67. My pet peeve is when smooth-brained old people patronize younger people as if being old and stoogey makes one informed or smart. It doesn't go, Dean. Love your rapid-fire logic. Thank you, Molly. You are awesome. I want to be just like you when I'm young.
Finish thanking your cult, will you?
Wait, why do you think Molly's a part of my cult?
Well, you think Maga, people that follow him are a cult, and basically the people that follow you are part of your cult.
Okay, so why do you think that Molly's a part of my cult? Just because she donated me $50? I'm not gonna lie, Molly's probably big ballin'. I'm not gonna lie, like a really well-grounded 67-year-old. I'm not gonna lie, Molly's likely big ballin', okay? All right, I don't know if Molly's a part of any cult, my friend. It sounds like you're just upset that she happened to donate me $50.
No, I'm just saying you've called MAGA supporters a part of a cult, and you've got your own little cult.
Yeah, I call you part of a cult because you support somebody that has boasted about perving on like little kids.
And you got a part of a cult that sends you money in excessive admiration of you.
Exactly, you're just pissed about the money. You're just pissed about the money. Like, no, there's no analogy to be made here. Okay, like Molly doesn't support somebody who's like openly boasted about perverting on kids. Molly doesn't support somebody who like tried to coup and rig a federal election just because they're upset. Molly isn't supporting somebody who's like hit on their own daughter or like advocated for a black man losing a job opportunity because they're black men, like Donald Trump did with the Obama birther myth. And keep in mind, this is in reference to me. You said that Molly is a part of my cult. Right, that this is a goal. Once again, it just sounds like you're upset because you donated $50 to me. I got another one for you. How do you feel about Tessa donating me $30 over on Venmo with a message saying, Dean, I just wanted to say thank you for conquering every obstacle that comes your way in order to enlighten and inspire others. You're truly amazing and we adore you. Thank you, Tessa. Let's get 300 Tessa W's. That is such a kind message. How do you feel about that, sir? Will you say W,
great.
Tessa?
I mean, hey, I give you all the power in the world the way you make money.
And then also Olivia with a $10 saying happy early birthday, and Maggie with another $10. Thank you so much, you guys. Show some love to the donors down below. I'd also like to quickly thank Amanda for the 25 and Terrence with the 25. Terrence says, love your knowledge and vibes. Thank you so much, Terrence. And then Amanda says, please listen to System of a Down. Okay, I will do that, Amanda. Thank you so much. Let's get 250 Amanda W's and 250 Terrence W's, as well as Kristen. Thank you for the $21 on Venmo for the early 21st birthday. Thank you for the love, Kristen. And then Lauren with the $5. Thank you so much. That is so incredibly kind of you. As well as Kay. This was 9 minutes ago, but I'm just seeing it now. Thank you for the $50 donation over on Venmo, saying happy 21st. And thank you for the rational thought. You give me hope for the future. Thank you, Kay. I thought I should add, it's technically at midnight tonight, but thank you nonetheless. Let's get 500 KWs. That is so kind of you. As well as Miu, that is MIAU with the $30. Holy shit. You guys are so awesome. Thank you. You guys are so cool. You guys are so cool. Thank you so much for the $30, MIAU. Show some love to MIAU down below. As well as Abigail with the $50 on Venmo for the cult fees. Oh my God. Let's get 500 Abigail W's for the cult fees. Oh my Jesus, Abigail. That is so much money. That is so kind of you. As well as Randy. Thank you for the $100 super chat. Tori with the $20 on super chat for the cult. And MBR Madden with the $21 saying praise Dean Almighty. Thank you for the love, Madden. Thank you for the love, Tori. And thank you for the, once again, the $100 donation, Randy. That is so much money. That is so kind of you. Show some love to all the donors down below. Holy fuck. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jay! Oh my God, what is going on? Jay! Thank you for the $300 donation on PayPal.
Damn, sounds like I made you a lot of money, bro.
Dude! Oh my God! Jay! Oh my God. Dude, let's get 3,000 JWs down below in the comment section. Jay, it's been a while, my friend. I hope that you're doing well. That is so fucking kind of you. As well as I just read your message there. I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate it. Jay, you are such a kind-hearted, generous individual, and you supported me and Parker like no other. All the love to you, Jay, and thank you so much for your kindness. Seriously, thank you, Jay. Would you like to go ahead?
No, I mean, you got anyone else to thank?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I thought I was going to hold off on them. But like, I could thank Lindsay for the $21, saying happy early 21st.
I'm enjoying it,
Lindsay.
making you money.
And then Maga Cries with the $5 for the Kool-Aid Fund. Thank you for the love, Maga Cries. Sarah with the $10. Thank you so much. Savannah with the $10. Ashley with the $5. Sarah with the $5. Then another Sarah with a $15 saying caller Medicare and Medicaid aren't the same thing. You probably confused that earlier. Thank you so much for the love. As well as Melissa with the $50 over on Venmo saying don't forget mine. Here's the cult dudes. Thank you for the love, Melissa. Let's get 500 Melissa W's. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys have been so kind today. You guys have been so kind today. As well as R with the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, happy early birthday. Have a blast tonight. You deserve it. Thank you, R. Show some love to R, Melissa, Jay, Lindsay, Wade, Sierra, Savannah, Ashley, Sarah, just all of you guys. Thank you so very much. Anyways, back to you guys. Do you have any other reasons why you support Trump that you'd like to run by me?
Nah, I think that's it.
Okay. Peace. Moving on to that next Trump supporter. Up in that queue if you're an American adult and you'd like to come up here and have a conversation with me. Seriously, what is going on today? That was like so much, you guys. Thank you for everybody that just supported me right there. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And it means the world. It seriously does. Thank you guys so much. Now we're gonna try to find that next Trump supporter. If you are an American adult that supports Trump and you want to come up here and have a conversation with me, go ahead and hop in that queue. But we are going to be very promptly and quickly banning and kicking everybody who attempts to join the stream that is breaking the rules. Okay, I'm gonna make that so incredibly clear while we try to get this next guest loaded up. Here we go. We got them loaded in right now. That Trump profile picture. Oh dear, lordy lord, lordy lord. Okay, it doesn't look like they're joining. We are unfortunately going to go ahead and kick them and move on to the next. Here we go. All right. In the meantime, stop, baby. They said they were 40 in the chat. Jesus Christ. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next guest. Amanda, if you want to come up here and have a conversation, unprivate your account and hop in that queue. We're going to get that next guest connected right now. Just once again, make sure that you're an American adult that supports Trump. We'll get you loaded in. We got Eric connecting as we speak. I also thought I'd put it out there. If you want to support me, I would highly recommend you support me on Venmo over PayPal. And only support me on PayPal if that is like the only thing that you have. Just because I don't technically have that account all the way back yet. They said it would be soon, but I don't trust them 100%. I trust them like 99%, just not 100%. And there's like a 1% chance that I'll just lose access to all of those funds for like half a year. But anyways, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yo,
what's up?
I don't support Trump, but
banned. Sorry. Moving on to Jade. Here we go. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Nigger.
Banned. Jesus Christ. Moving on to the next Trump supporter. We got Soli011 loading up. Global Compliance. Thank you for the $10 on PayPal saying happy early birthday for tomorrow. Thank you for the love, Global. Show some love to Global down below. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay. Age?
18.
Okay. What year were you born in?
2005.
Can you even be
You're dumb
18
as shit,
born in
dude.
05? No, you can't. You're either 19 or 20. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next guest connected, you guys. What the hell is going on today? We got Limitless connecting right now. Hopefully, we could find an American adult that supports Trump to have a convo with us. What's up? Are you going to make a fool of yourself or debate me on why you support Trump? Which one?
No, I'm here to answer your questions.
Okay. So are you MAGA?
Yeah,
Okay. And how old are you?
28.
Okay,
Sorry,
wait.
29.
What year were you born in?
96.
96? Yeah.
1996.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So why do you support Trump?
Well, the reason why I support Trump is though because he always puts immigration first, and he's always built our economy one of the greatest things in the world. And I think that, in my opinion, Trump cares more about our way of life in America than the left side.
What is he
like generally speaking?
What has he done to positively impact our economy? Like, I can't really think about much.
Well, take a look at the facts. I mean, he did an amazing job in putting control in immigration than Democrats did. I mean, there was like a lot of undocumented, a lot of frauds.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, I think the Joe Biden administration didn't control that. In the first term of Donald Trump, he actually had way more control in immigration than Joe Biden did.
Well, it's funny.
Take a look at the facts.
It's funny that you make a connection between these two things, because I asked you the question, what has Donald Trump done to positively impact the American economy? And then you bring up his removal of undocumented immigrants. But according to the American Immigration Council, a mass deportation would reduce our GDP by $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion per year, as 8.3 million
incorrect information.
Why is that?
Because where you get your sources from the GDP, it's probably from the left side that's not accurate.
Okay, well, it's the American Immigration Council, and I could give you the data to justify their conclusion that it would reduce our GDP by nearly $2 trillion. So first and foremost, we have to account for their direct contributions to the GDP, which is which is pretty close to around $500 billion per year. This estimate is going to be taken off of A, how much they pay in taxes, which is $100 billion per year on the local, state, and federal level, then B, a rough estimate of those that don't pay taxes and rather work under the table but still buy, sell, and trade goods. And then B, would have to account for the profit that is extracted deducted off of them by their employer. And then C, we're accounting for the overall productivity that they generate in the workforce. So undocumented immigrants are more likely to work and contribute to the GDP than citizens, since more of them are of working age. 8.3 million of them work and 11 million of them consume. And these facts and more are what amounts to the American Immigration Council's conclusion that if we were to remove them all tomorrow, our GDP would go down by 1.1 trillion to 1.7 trillion per year.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that America is going to be bankrupt in the next 1,000 years from now.
Well, America is definitely going to economically suffer because of Donald Trump's mass deportation. Yes. You're
But
spending
that's
money
not
to lose
accurate
money.
because. But where do you get your data? Because if that was true though,
Wow.
then it would have happened 1,000 years from now.
If that was true, it would have
It's like
happened 1,000
basically
years from
building
now.
a Tesla.
Nice words.
It's like basically building a Tesla, and in 1,000 years, Tesla's still going to be up and running for the rest of our lives. So your data is inaccurate. It's not correct.
My friend, would you like to talk about something that isn't like economic?
Okay, let's talk about something else. Okay,
Yeah,
so I heard you.
the
on,
reason why
saying
why I
about
want to
Medicaid,
suggest to you to
Medicare.
talk about something else is because that was just
Okay.
completely incoherent gibberish.
Okay. Let's talk about Medicaid and Medicare. So I heard in your live that you say that Donald Trump is taking off Medicaid and Medicare. Well, that's again 100% inaccurate because Medicaid and Medicare is a right as an American, not as an undocumented. And Snapchat, well, there's a lot of Americans that do not use Snapchat. I'm pretty sure that's the undocumented that's doing that. So
You
I'm just telling you
Snapchat?
that nothing is going wrong in USA. Snap. I said Snap. That
You said
there's more
Snapchat.
undocumented using it. No, I said Snap. Snap. The card, the food stamps.
Okay. So point number one,
Okay.
the 10 million people that are going to be losing Medicaid are all citizens. Why? Because it is federal Medicaid, and undocumented immigrants cannot qualify for any federal system of benefit, including Medicaid.
Can you prove that?
For sure. Why not? Let's go to Google. Can undocumented immigrants qualify for Medicaid? Enter. Wabam. Fantastic. Georgetown University. Look up Georgetown University, the truth about Medicaid coverage for immigrants and the looming threats. The very first paragraph goes over how, and I quote, undocumented immigrants are not eligible for Medicaid.
Okay, so what does that have to do with Americans having Medicaid and Medicare?
Well, what it has to do with is you told me the people that are going to be losing the services are undocumented immigrants, but that's not true. In fact, every single person losing Medicaid because of the BBB is an American citizen, since undocumented immigrants have never and will never likely qualify for it.
Well, of course they won't qualify for it because they don't have proper papers here. Like they don't have immigration done right, like for themselves.
Now you're
They don't have the
contradicting
money
yourself
for it.
because it was your argument that it was the undocumented immigrants that were losing it.
Okay, I'm talking about the Americans, not the undocumented.
Now I'm confused. I'm so confused with you, my friend. Everybody in the chat is spamming bio. Your bio says women hate me. Do women hate you?
Oh, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of women. I don't want to talk about that. I'm
You're not a
more
big
like
fan of women? No wonder women hate you.
But we're getting off topic here.
What
Can
a,
we just get back
what,
to the
like,
topic?
why did you say that so casually? Oh, I'm not a big fan of women. What?
Bro, what does that have to do with the conversation? You're completely changing it. It has nothing to do with our
Fine, fine.
conversation.
We'll finish out our conversation about Medicaid, Medicare, and food stamps. But after that, I want to talk to
Please,
you about
no.
what you mean when you say you're not a big fan of women. Are you like incel?
Look, I don't want to talk about that, and I don't want to ask you about that.
Then you
We
shouldn't
both have our
advertise it
personal
as your bio.
But what does it matter what it says?
Well, it means that you're advertising this fact of yourself that you seemingly don't want to talk about.
Okay, fine. If you want to talk about it, fine. Let's just finish it when we finish our other conversations.
Okay, all right. So what's your point?
So my point of view is that Medicaid and Medicare, millions of Americans will not lose Medicaid and Medicare in the next 100 years when Donald Trump leaves office. Like I said before, it is a right to have it. It's not a privilege.
So 10 million Americans are going to lose it in the next 10 years.
But again, it won't happen because you get your sources from
it will
internet that doesn't tell the truth.
So I know
Okay.
this is going to happen, and I'll actually give you a Republican source for it. The Congressional Budget Office is ran by Republicans. They project that 10 million people will lose Medicaid in the next 10 years. And if you're
So you're
curious,
saying that
insofar as one moment, and if you're curious what the liberals project, like the CRBF, they project that 17 million people will lose coverage. I'm taking the most conservative estimate.
let's just assume that you're right in the next 10 years. What if it doesn't happen? What if you're wrong?
Well, what if I'm wrong? If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. What if
Okay,
your
then
grandma
there's your
didn't
proof.
have legs and had wheels instead? Would she be a bicycle?
I don't have a grandmother. She passed away.
I'm very sorry for your loss, man. No, that's not proof
Yeah, thank
either. You can't just say, well, hypothetically, if X is true, then X is true. Like, hypothetically, if you were Albert Einstein, would you be Albert Einstein?
I wouldn't even be close to Albert Einstein.
No,
I
no,
would
no,
see
no,
more
no.
Steve
Listen,
Hawking,
listen.
more-
Hypothetically, if you were Albert Einstein, then would you be Albert Einstein? Hypothetically.
I wouldn't be Albert Einstein. I wouldn't be close to that.
Dude.
I'm just basically telling. I'm just basically
Oh
telling you
my
that the
god.
next
Okay,
10
I'll
years-
use it. I'll use a
it's not
different.
gonna-
I'll use a different example.
Dean-
Hypothetically,
Dean,
if you were no, stop. Hypothetically, if you were wearing blue shoes, then would you be wearing blue shoes?
I don't wear blue shoes.
Repeat the question I just asked you. I want to see where the disconnect lies.
No, I don't have that. No, I'm responding with a no.
Can you repeat what I asked you?
Okay, repeat what you asked me, please.
Hypothetically, if you were wearing blue shoes, then would you be wearing blue shoes?
No, not really.
My God. It gets to a point where you just can't even track logic. Let's do a quick logic test. Premise number 1, Socrates is a man. Premise number 2, all men are mortal. What is the conclusion?
Conclusion is that you're right. Men are mortal.
No. 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 So I'm gonna repeat this. I'm gonna give you two
So you're
facts.
saying that
two
any
truths.
democratic lie that you believe is just gonna ruin our country? Like you believe truly your sources?
Listen. I'm gonna give
Where
you
do you get
two
your
facts.
sources?
One second.
You're not God, Dean.
One
You're
sec.
not God.
I'm
You
gonna
can't
give-
predict the future.
I'm gonna give you two true statements.
You're just trying to give false information so that you can convince people not to vote Donald Trump.
What is
That's
going?
your problem?
We're not even talking about Trump anymore. We're doing a little bit of like.
Well, I'm telling you the truth. What you're doing, you don't appreciate what this man has done in our country. You just want to spread information to ruin
We're
his life, just like Kamala.
we're gonna set the orange fascists aside for the next 30
he's
seconds.
not a fascist. Again, he's not a fascism. That's not correct.
He's not a fascism is not a grammatically correct sentence. You meant
Okay,
to say
can you prove that
not
he's a fascism? Can you prove that he's a criminal? Can you prove that Donald Trump has done wrong? Okay, exactly, you can't because you have no proof of that.
He was convicted of
You
34
can't judge a
felonies.
man based on what?
I
can't judge a
I
man.
could prove to you that Donald Trump has done wrong.
Okay, again, he's not in jail right now. He's still living. He's not a criminal.
So would
But
you
he's not
say
whatever he's
everybody
claiming
that's
for.
not in jail has never done wrong?
I'm saying every president that's been president hasn't done jail. And not every single man has done in jail or whatever.
How did you even
can't
get
believe-
there? How did you?
Because man,
This is like
because
this is
because
like,
I have a brother and he's basically more younger and I'm more older and we're basically the only two people on the planet that we haven't committed sins. Like one of the parts of the Republican people that we're innocent. Like we're not even part of our Democratic Party. I'm just trying to tell you that
What the
it's just
fuck?
logical that you judge Republican people like us that we're the criminals. In
fuck?
reality, it's yourself, the Democratic Party.
what the fuck?
If you want to judge Donald Trump, though, then by all means go ahead, Dean. But you're not going to do it because you have no proven evidence. You provide false advertising of false data, and you're basically making yourself a joke
So-
on social media.
So my plan was
Okay, prove the data. Prove the data that Medicaid is going to be lost in 10 years. I'm pretty sure I'm going to come back in 10 years, and I'm still going to have Medicaid. So prove it, Democratic. Prove it, Democratic. Look at you. You're speechless. You don't know what to say.
yeah, I'm
Bro,
speechless.
it's the truth. Bro, it's the truth. Wake up.
Yeah, I'm
Why do you believe
speechless.
Democratic lies? Bro, if Donald Trump really is what he is, then by all means he could have been in jail for life of what he done to women or whatever you say. But you're wrong. He's not what he is.
Okay.
He's a good man. He's the only man that has the guts to do whatever it takes in this country. Your Democrats don't have the guts.
Am I drunk?
They're basically like Canadians. The Democratic are Canadians. They can't do nothing for us. And the tariffs of Trump is going to put America back in running. We don't need immigrants. We need Americans.
What's in this pin, bro? What am I?
Bro, look at you. You're laughing because you know
what
I'm
is
telling
going
the truth.
on? Chat it.
You know I'm telling the truth, man. Look at you,
What's going on,
bro?
dude?
Name one single Democrat that's done right by our country. I bet you.
I'm having like an out of body experience right now.
You have no proof that Democrats done right by our country. Donald Trump is the one true king, sir. The one true Republican.
Why are you just spamming
Your Democrats
words?
are in the bottom of the ocean, are in the bottom of the food chain. They'll never be better.
Hey,
not even you.
Can I hop in here real
Not
quick?
even you, man.
Can I hop in
Not
here
even
real
you.
quick? Let me hop in here real quick.
Joe Biden has done wrong to his son. Trump hasn't done nothing against other people.
Let
So
me-
you can't prove that.
I'm
See, you
now
can't
get-
prove that. Look at you. You can't prove it.
I'm now gonna put you on pause. I need to be able to speak too. And I'm gonna take like a big drink of water. I don't know if I'm dehydrated. Maybe it's something in the pin. You know, maybe I started the 21st birthday celebration early, then just forgot about it. Like either this guy is just completely incoherent, spewing complete word salad gibberish.
And you're in denial, just like Democrats.
Okay, specifically
You don't
what?
want to accept the truth.
What am I in denial of?
Okay, you claim that in the next 10 years or 100 years, I don't care what it is, that we're going to lose Medicaid and Medicare. But I'm pretty much sure that in the next 100 years from now, your claim is going to be 150% wrong. That goes for the same as the tariffs. It's not going to put America worse, not even the rest of the world. It's going to put America up and running, and the rest of the world will be a better economy. Because that's how things are run in this country. We put them in order, we put the numbers, we put the accurate economy for every single country for the tariffs. We don't need your democratic data, false advertisement, CNN news. You're basically like CNN.
What is a tariff?
Right? You're fake news.
What is a tariff?
Importing taxes goods on other countries.
What? Importing taxes goods?
So what is it in your term, tariffs? See if you can answer what it is. Is the economy bad in Canada because of the tariffs?
Okay,
Is
how about-
China the same thing? Okay, there you go. Then you have no proof that the tariffs are ruining other countries. Boom. There. I
Okay.
did your whole algorithm.
Oh, okay. You cooked me. Can you explain the bio now? What do you mean when you say that women hate you?
Wait, I cooked you? So you're not gonna say something back?
No, you beat me.
Really?
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like you. It doesn't seem like you've been beaten.
No, you beat me in the debate.
Come on, man. You can say one thing. I can handle it. Go
No,
ahead.
you absolutely destroyed me.
So you just want to walk away like Joe Biden and Kamala, like a loser.
No,
you don't want to.
Well, I am a loser because you destroyed me in the debate.
Oh,
won,
because
I
you
lost.
believed in CNN Democratic lies.
No,
you don't believe the
because
true Republican.
you beat me in the
news.
debate.
Okay, so I've won basically.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the next topic. What were you saying?
Next topic. Can you explain what your bio means when it says women hate you?
Women hate me because they don't comprehend how a good person I am. They don't comprehend how a good heart I have. They don't comprehend that if you want to judge a man based on a good person you are, like you support them, you give them whatever you want, yada, yada, yada. So I've been judged by many women, but the problem is that they can't prove that I'm either a criminal or whatever Donald Trump did to women. Like I did right by them, but they just act like they're superior than me. They act like Democratic. They just want to.
So you're telling us
they're
that
more better.
you're telling us that women can't comprehend how good of a person you are. What is one good
Exactly.
thing you've
that
done?
goes the same for every single woman.
What is one good thing you've done in the last week?
For who exactly?
Just anything. What is one good thing you've done in the last 7 days?
I go to Uber Eats and I deliver food to people that are in need.
Because they're
You
paying
know,
you.
regular people.
That
Okay,
would
they're
be-
paying me, but I'm doing right by humanity. Like I'm not doing anything.
So you're a good man because you work as an Uber Eats driver?
Yes, man. Why wouldn't you? Like I wouldn't ask you why you're on TikTok and working.
Do you have like any other examples of like good things you've done in the last week?
I've helped the homeless shelter.
You would volunteer
Volunteer.
at a homeless shelter?
Yeah, there's a lot of it here in Florida.
When you volunteered, what did you do?
I give food to the people in the cafeteria. Like, it's a volunteer work. It's not
What kind of food were you serving on the day you volunteered?
Mashed potatoes, peas, chicken, whatever they serve in the cafeteria.
Okay. All right. I was just curious. We're going to move on to the next guest. That guy's like rattling my brain. Firsteen L? Firsteen L, I guess. I don't know. Look at that chat. I just got a L. No, I just lost the debate.
Dude. What's up?
Oh my god. That was just complete incoherent gibberish. Hey, welcome in, man. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and how old are you?
20.
Great. Before we hop into the debate, quickly, I got to thank Lucas for the 50 pounds over on Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Lucas. Lucas says, it just hit midnight in Austria, so happy birthday, Dean. You're practically the internet's politics teacher while fighting MAGA at the same time. Make sure to celebrate your birthday properly and enjoy your day. I love you so much, and these guests have been crazy. Bro, that's insane, Lucas. Sometimes I forget that people tune in internationally, you know what I mean? Thank you for being here, and you're right, it already is my birthday over there. That's very kind of you. If you could all show some love to Lucas down below in that comment section, it would be very meaningful. As well as Delta, thank you for the $20, and Jeffrey with the $20. Thank you so much, Delta and Jeffrey. Show some love to Delta and Jeffrey down below. And sir, take it away. Why the hell do you support Trump?
Yeah, hold on. Are you gonna drink at 12 o'clock?
Obviously.
Yeah. And do you like my username?
I just want to debate you on why you support Trump, man.
Yeah. I support Trump because I want to keep people safe from this country.
You want to keep people safe from the country?
Yeah, like children too. That's a good example.
Okay, if you want to keep children safe, then how come you voted for somebody that's boasted about sexually exploiting children?
Well, that's not true, but only that we shouldn't be teaching trans in school.
Okay, we'll get there. But first, we're going to start off with my claim, where I said, how come you support somebody that sexually exploited children? Here's Donald Trump boasting about it. Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
You worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And,
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
you're like
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with it.
Oh, I accidentally just exited out of it, but at the end there he says, and I sort of get away with things like this. So he boasted about perving on the naked bodies of minors and grown adult women at Miss Teen USA, Miss USA, and Miss Universe, the 3 pageants he owned. We have had women who were minors when they were competing in Miss Teen USA come forward and testify to the same fact that this is indeed something Donald J. Trump has done to them.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, that's insane.
Right. Yeah. Your name is Chris Mowry Sucks. Has Chris Mowry done something worse than that?
No, but I don't like.
So does that mean that Trump sucks?
Yeah, I don't like what Trump did. No, that's weird.
So you no longer support him as president?
No.
Very nice, Austin. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. We're going to go to get that next guest connected right now, you guys. We're going to go to move on to Rain. Very nice. Very nice. That is a normal person reaction. I miss those. Tessa, thank you for the $11 over on Venmo, saying I totally spaced on wishing you happy birthday. No, Tessa, it's okay. It's not even my birthday. My birthday's tomorrow. I'm actually one of Parker's YouTube mods, but I've been proudly following your journey along for over 2 years now. Happy 21st. Tessa, if you want to be a mod in my YouTube chat, just type in it. You don't even have to be active or anything. I just happily mod anybody who's working over there with Parker. But let's go to move on to the next guest. Seriously, Tessa, thank you so much. I'd also like to quickly thank Evelyn for the $1, Alec for the $5. Thank you so much. And then Mira with the $5 as well. Thank you so much, Mira. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, howdy.
25.
Great. Could you turn that TV off in the background or go into a different room?
Sadly, no, but you can mute me and then we can, go back and forth if you like. Or I could just leave.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna just kick you and move on to the next guest. I'm sorry, man. I don't do too well with like talking while I'm like hearing audio like that. It's just something to do with me and my lack of an ability to multitask. So unfortunately, we will move on. Let's also show some love to Michelle down below in that chat. This was 20 minutes ago. Michelle, thank you for the $21 over on Venmo, saying happy early birthday and thank you for debating MAGA based upon facts. Enjoy a drink on me. Thank you, Michelle. I'd actually like to thank everybody that has sent support for a drink on them. You guys are so very kind. And Michelle, seriously, thank you so much for the $21. What's going on, Jay? You MAGA?
Am I MAGA?
Yeah.
Not me.
Not you. Band. We're only looking to talk to Trump supporters. Yup. Okay. That was an ad on my own YouTube stream. Holy Lord. Moving on to the next guest. Go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section. If you want to come up, I will happily get you up in the live to have a conversation with us. Right now, it looks like the Trump supporters are scared. They're running away, quite frankly. Well, I don't know why it has been so hard recently to find new debates. So if you want to see some debates, you just got to help this live push out and across that For You page. You could help us do that by double tapping on that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends, etc. But we're going to go to get that next guest connected into the stream right now. We got Greg loading up. It doesn't look like Greg is going to connect. Oh, actually, he did. What's up, Greg? Are you MAGA?
Yes.
Are you driving?
For TOS, yes, but I'm hands-free. Is that okay?
Unfortunately, not. Because TOS doesn't care if it's hands-free or not. I unfortunately got to kick you, but Greg, feel free to re-request when you're not driving. What's up? Are you MAGA? Jackson is not here. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Okay. We got Brett connecting. Brett. Actually, we're going to go to get Dustin connected. Here we go. Haley, thank you for the $3 on Venmo. Wishing me a happy early 21st. Thank you, Haley. As well as me with a $1. Thank you so much. All right. Dustin's not here. Moving on to the next guest. We got NotMe037 loading up. Make sure if you're in that queue, you're an American adult that supports Trump. Follow the rules. Welcome in. Are you MAGA?
No.
Right, unfortunately, then you're banned. So those are the rules, guys. Those are the rules. You're either MAGA or banned. MAGA or banned. Those are the two options, MAGA or banned. Make sure that you're MAGA so you don't get banned. What's up, Brett? Are you MAGA or banned?
Did you know Lars Lang just caught a 10-pound blue...
Banned. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everyone. Please follow the rules. They're super duper simple. Very, 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 very simple. We got Big DZ connecting. Here we go, folks. So we'll see you in. Thank you for the $1 on Venmo. What's up, Big DZ? You MAGA?
Hello.
Hello. Do you support Trump?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Hey, man. We're going to give the mic to you. Take it away. Tell us how the hell you support the worst president of your life.
Well, I want you to tell me first why you think he's the worst president.
Age.
30.
I don't know why you convinced me for 3 seconds. You're like 13. Like you convinced me for the first couple seconds, though. He convinced me for the first couple seconds. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he managed to do it. You know what? That is the first time a fetus has ever, and I mean ever, been successful in convincing me that they were like older than they actually are, even if it was only like for 3 seconds. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right. How old are you?
20.
Okay, great. Danielle, thank you for the $21 over on PayPal saying happy early birthday. Thank you, Danielle. Let's get 210 W Danielle's down below in that chat. Seriously, thank you so much for the love. And hey, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Shit, just overall, just sticks to his word.
No, he doesn't. He promised us that he would end the Russian-Ukraine war in one day. It is still raging on over 250 days later. He promised that he'd slash the prices of groceries on day one so fast your head would spin. Inflation is up since January. He said that he was going to achieve 90 trade deals in 90 days. That just never fucking happened. Pete, thank you for the motorcycle. He promised an infrastructure bill in his first term. He never got it done. Biden got it done in his first month with the worst split in Congress. He promised a wall between America and Mexico, then promised that Mexico would pay for it. Built less than 3%, then made the American DoD budget pay for it. He promised the Epstein files, but then when he learned he was on them, he then called them a Democratic hoax and did not release them. He promised a golden age of prosperity in America with more employment. Employment has gone down. He promised expedited GDP growth. GDP growth is a half of what it was last year. No, he just doesn't pull through on his promises. I don't know what to tell you, man.
All right, shit. I don't really got much to say, honestly. I just wanted to hop on this bitch. but appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Also, you look good, bro. Keep it up in the gym. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest because he has nothing to say. Quite frankly, let's go and get that next guest up in here. We got Brandon loading in. All right, here we go. All right, Landon's not connecting. Oh, and he did. What is up, Brandon? Not Landon. Sorry. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 33.
What year were you born in?
1991.
Let me do the math. What month?
December 10th, 1991.
That'd make you 33.
I just did 13 years in prison, bro. I sound young. I don't know if that's what you're testing.
Yeah, well, it is, but I believe you. So take it away. Why do you support Trump?
You can see on my profile picture, bro. You can see my tattoos.
Yeah.
That's exactly who I am.
Yeah, like I said, I believe that you're 33. You do sound young, though, but that's not a bad thing.
Nah, never that. I look young, too, so I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
I come from California, a Democratic state. My parents are old parents born in 1940, 1945. They're both, I was adopted. So they're both older when they adopted me. When I was a kid, no one spoke about politics, right? So even if you supported democracy, Republicans, my parents were both Democrats before Reagan.
Wow. So why are you a Trump supporter today?
Because I understand the laws in California. Democrats are light on lenient sentences on not only, I don't know what I can say on
You
here,
can't say the
but
name of any DRUG.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying they're light on sentences, period. I did 13 years in prison, bro. They're so light. We vote Democrats based on the fact they're going to give criminals, I promise you, bro, my CDC number was AL4804.
Hey, do you think that you should have been in jail for longer?
No, what I'm saying, no, I got over sentenced and it was from the Democrats. That's why.
Okay.
They're under sentencing certain people out here and over sentencing kids that were just struggling and trying to find their way through life. Yet you'll have somebody who committed a heinous crime 4 or 5 times and they get probation, my guy.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, bro.
That's fact.
That's not a Democrat problem. That's not a Republican problem. One moment.
Voted Democrat
One moment.
based on
Just
these
allow me to finish. Okay? The issues with our criminal justice system, that's not a Democratic problem. That's not a Republican problem. That's an American problem.
Who is ran California?
One second. It is an American problem. The criminal justice system,
though.
just 1 second, sir. The criminal justice system in this country needs to be reformed. There are other countries, specifically Nordic countries, that are light years ahead of America insofar as criminal justice reform and being focused on rehabilitation, not baseless punishment. Like 74% of people that are found guilty of a crime and go to jail in America get out of jail, then recommit. You are more likely to go back to jail than you are to live the rest of your life as a free man because of the serious issues within the American criminal justice system. All right? Would I argue that the right is worse than the left? Majority because of the war on DRUGS? Sure. But at the end of the day, the left is no angel when it comes to our prison system either. Okay? It's not a Democratic problem. It's an American problem that Trump certainly isn't going to fix. Go ahead. And if you disagree with that, if you think the right is going to fix this, tell me how. What is Donald Trump's plan to reform the criminal justice system? You got to unmute your mic, click on your profile picture, and click the icon of the microphone in the top left-hand corner. I'd love to hear from you.
That's what I'm saying. Look, you muted me, but I don't understand what I was trying to retort to. You talk for so long, you don't let anybody get in their points. You'll make so many different arguments and not let anybody argue one point. Let me go back to the recidivism rate. ARC is, what is it? The Anti-Recidivism Coalition. It's a part of California. It was started by a guy named Scott Budnick. He did all the movies, Project X, The Hangovers. He was the movie producer for all of that.
Oh, I know Scott. I know Scott.
Yes, sir. I know him personally. I used to have meetings with him when I was in prison.
So let me tell you something. You met with Scott?
Twice.
Dude,
yes, sir.
I've sat down with him and I've talked to him about the work that he's done.
But that's what I'm saying. I had personal meetings.
You're right. Scott does run groups with inmates in California.
So you know what I'm saying. So let me tell you about the recidivism rate, sir. I did a sentence over 10 years.
Crazy.
All of my friends have did more than 10 years. I just had a cellie that got out that did 38 years. None of us have reoffended since we've been out. We've never committed a new crime. Anybody that's done 10 years or more will not reoffend. The recidivism rate for people that have done a decade or more in prison is what? 1%, less than 1%. The people that are getting sentenced like that are kids that are committing murders, robberies, carjackings. Okay. Not the other people that are offending. They're getting sentenced lower.
Okay, hey,
you see what I'm saying?
My friend, listen.
Those are the people that are reoffending.
Listen.
And they're democratic, brother.
Listen. You and me are going
out here harming children, bro.
Just allow
getting
me to
sentenced to 4 years on their fourth offense.
Listen, bro.
How do you explain that?
Listen, man. You were just in jail for 13 years, and you were pissed the fuck off at the terrible criminal justice system that we have.
I'm not, bro.
And I agree with you on a lot of that. Okay, but like the point of this live is to debate on like why you support President Trump. And I don't feel like you're coming up here to debate me on why you support President Trump. You're coming up here to voice your frustrations, regardless of they're valid or invalid with the criminal justice system. Okay? And I'm not going to be hard on you like I have the other guys. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I agree that our criminal justice system needs major reform. As well as you're telling me that you met with Scott. Scott's a good guy. Scott's a really good dude. I've sat down with him too. He actually told me all about the work that he does with inmates in California prisons. But let me tell you something about Scott. Scott voted for Kamala Harris. Let me tell you something else about Scott. Scott fucking hates Trump. So if you look up to Scott, you should be like Scott. Hate Trump too.
You turn my microphone off again.
Because you were talking a lot.
Look, brother, because I'm trying to reply to what you're saying, and you're just continuing. When the right has a conversation with the left, me and you can have a civil conversation. We can be respectful, all that stuff. A lot of the left reverts to popping people character. So you're going to try to attack my character or where I stand as a person instead of having a conversation. That's what you guys break it down to. Yeah, I don't care about your beliefs. You can live however.
We're going to move on to the next guest. I don't know. I have a lot of empathy for that guy, more empathy than a lot of guests, because he's voicing genuine frustrations about the criminal justice reform, and he has it all wrong about how that relates to politics. I was trying to be kind to him. He wasn't having it, so we're just going to move on to the next guest. Here we go. All right. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. What's up? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't.
All right. You have a good rest of your day, Mark. Let's go and get that next guest connected. We got Clay loading in. What's up? Do you support Trump, Clay?
Dude, I didn't even mean to get in here. I'm so sorry.
No worries, man. You have a good rest of your day, man. We're going to go to connect that next guest right now. Yeah, man. I hope that last guest figures it out. I really do. I really do. And I also want to let you know, like me and many other people agree with you full-heartedly that the criminal justice system needs reform, right? And if Scott met with you, then I know that you're probably not some terrible, heinous person either, right? Welcome. And do you support Trump?
Yep, sure do.
Okay, how do you?
Okay, and I want to speak on a little clip I saw about you saying that Trump was the one who was the one messing with the 2A rights, which I didn't agree with him banning bump stocks. But why don't you ever say what Biden and the ATF did with the brace rule? Or how about what Dems are doing in their states with firearms?
Okay, so I think I've heard about the ATF thing before. Like the ATF passed some new thing under the Biden-Harris administration that was unconstitutional, right?
Yeah, it was it was ATF, and Biden had a lot to do with that too. Don't just blame it on the ATF. Biden had a lot to do with it.
Well, that's exactly the thing.
What they tried to do was they tried to go around Congress to create a law, but they called it a rule instead of a law. They called it a rule, so they didn't have to pass through Congress.
The ATF has rules.
Then why did it get shut down 6 months later for being unconstitutional?
Probably because the rule was unconstitutional, which happens sometimes.
So what you're saying is
that is how our checks and balances work.
So what you're saying is Biden and the ATF do unconstitutional things also, right?
Well, no, it's the ATF under the Biden-Harris administration.
Biden was part of it, dude. Biden was part of it. Stop saying he wasn't. Stop acting like he wasn't.
What was Biden's involvement? I feel like sometimes, like, you as well as other people, like, forget how, like, vastly large the federal government is. Okay, right? Like the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearm, and Explosives. Like, they are one of, like, hundreds or maybe even of thousands of, like, government agencies, federal agencies, right? And every time we have a new coming administration, of course, they appoint their cabinet, and then their cabinet is incredibly involved with, like, picking the heads of these agencies if they need to replace them. Many don't replace the heads of these agencies. And
dude, stop deflecting, dude. Stop deflecting. Stop. Just stop.
Giving you an explanation is not a deflection. Giving you an explanation is not a deflection. You seem just really upset that I'm like cooking your ass.
Not cooking me. You hold me on mute while you're spewing nonsense.
I wasn't even holding on you. I only muted you when you interrupted me. So can I
go
finish?
ahead, Dean? Keep spewing your nonsense.
I mean, of course, it's nonsense because you disagree with it. You value your
no, because
feelings
you don't know
of
nothing
reality
about
over
what you're
reality
talking
in of
about.
itself.
You're just spewing. You're spewing on something you don't know nothing about. You've not educated yourself on or nothing. You didn't even really know what I was talking about at first.
Listen, if you want to come up here and just tell me that I have no clue what I'm talking about, regardless of what I'm talking about, with no response insofar as why I'm wrong, maybe you're in the not in the right place. Like this is a sophist coping mechanism for emotional men to bypass the fact that I'm speaking facts. And the way that you're bypassing those facts is by just willfully writing off any word that comes out of my mouth as bullshit. All right? But I'll let you know what I'm talking about, since you don't want to hear my explanation about the relationship between federal government agencies and the administration. How about we talk about the current administration and the Constitution, since you care about it so much? All right. I know that I don't know what I'm talking about, but apparently there's this executive order, number 1.
Dean, if you cannot have a conversation without keeping people on mute, then this is pointless, bro. It's pathetic, bro. You can have a conversation with people without muting them, and just talking nonstop, just blabbering. You don't need to do that, bro. You don't need to do that.
Do you need me to write it down in less than 3 sentences with a crayon on printer paper?
No, you get your little clips by muting people and then just spewing bullshit, and then you'll edit it and then post your little clips like you're schooling everybody.
Oh, you sound really personally butthurt over this. Have I done this to you before?
Oh, you definitely have. That's how I know you're. That's how I know
wait. We gotta go on my Instagram real quick. I recognize your voice, my friend. I recognize your voice. I definitely do.
He couldn't finish having that conversation. He couldn't finish having that conversation.
Let me.
Do you think that Trump's?
No, that's not you. That's not you. 1 second.
No, not me.
Which one is?
No, I'm the one that called you a hypocrite because you said racist things.
Oh yeah, I remember you. Don't worry, I'm looking for it. My friend. I'm looking for it, my friend. No, because I gotta find this. I gotta find this clip. I gotta find this clip.
You're scared. Dean's scared.
I'm looking for the clip. What's wrong with me?
Stop being scared, bro. Stop being scared. Let's keep talking about the Second Amendment. Come on, let's talk about it. When you yourself has said racist slurs, y'all think it's okay to be racist as long as you apologize? I'm glad you played this.
You think I'm hypocritical because I went from being racist to non-racist because I fulfilled the 3 qualities of accountability, apology, and genuine change my character. Bro, this shit has 700,000 likes on Instagram.
Of course it does.
Bro,
look how you
this was posted in February of this year, my friend. This was
You've made it look
6 months ago. No, 7 at this point. This was 7 months ago, and you're still fucking talking about it? Do you go to bed every single night thinking about how you got absolutely fucking destroyed by a young man with a good brain on their with a good brain in their head?
Dean, you brought it up, not me. You're the one that said, "Oh, let's go look. You sound familiar. Let's go look on my Instagram." I wasn't the one that did that, buddy.
So what's the claim today? Let me get another clip to post to my Instagram. Why do you support Trump?
I was trying to have a conversation with you, bro. What are you talking about?
And then you interrupted me, and then I muted you.
Because what you do is you mute people. Because what you do is you mute people, and you just literally spew this long bunch of nonsense, making all your little followers think you're so educated, when all you're doing is you're just talking good. That's all you're doing. You're just talking good, bro. You're not actually saying anything factual. Again, I want to ask you, why don't you ever speak on the Democrats that are doing all these things in all these states with firearms that are unconstitutional? How come you don't ever speak on Biden's ATF brace rule? How come you don't speak on that? Oh, and you might want to go do a little more research and actually watch some videos of Biden speaking about the brace rule before you claim Biden has nothing to do with it.
But just let me know when I can speak without you interrupting me.
Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. Fantastic. So first and foremost, the ATF is an independent government organization that works in tandem with our federal government. Now, if you're telling me that they passed a rule that was ultimately ruled as unconstitutional by SCOTUS, well, what was the Biden-Harris administration's response to that? Oh, wait. There was no... Even though SCOTUS ruled this was unconstitutional, we're still going to try to keep the rule in effect. Even though SCOTUS ruled this is unconstitutional, we're going to try to circumnavigate that ban and break the law more and more and more. Even though SCOTUS ruled this is unconstitutional, I'm just going to ignore their ruling or arrest or fire them and then keep the rule intact, unlike Donald Trump. See, that is the big difference, sir. Okay, when immigration judges stopped upholding his unconstitutional removals, he fired the immigration judges. When SCOTUS ruled that his removal of Abrigo Garcia was unconstitutional, he ignored it and said that he was never coming back until he had to bring him back. When federal judges ruled that he was deporting Venezuelan immigrants without due process, he did it anyways, leading those judges to saying that they have probable cause to hold his administration in contempt. When he passed Executive Order number 14160 that unconstitutionally took birthright citizenship away from the children of undocumented immigrants, well, he just simply told SCOTUS to hold off a ruling so he could have it stay in effect for as long as possible. 3 days ago, when he unconstitutionally attempted to take away our right to burn the American flag, which is protected symbolic speech under the First Amendment, he said nothing.
Why do you care about that? You're so patriotic. Why do you care about that? You're so patriotic.
Because
you're so patriotic. Why do you care about burning the flag? Why do you care about that?
Good question. Because true patriots think that forced loyalty through an illegal taking away of your constitutional protections is even more anti-American than burning
lighting things on fire. I wouldn't really consider freedom of speech.
Buddy. Well, guess what SCOTUS does? It's called symbolic speech, my friend. Legally classified identically as flipping somebody off.
I guess they're unpatriotic. You're unpatriotic. Anyone who wants to burn our flag, who is okay with burning our flag, does not give a shit about this country, bro. I don't care what you say. If you're okay with burning our flag, you are a problem. You need to just go on somewhere. Why are you even here?
Do you agree with free speech?
Yeah, I don't agree with burning flags, though. Free speech and burning stuff is a little different, buddy.
If you agree with free speech, what does free speech mean to
you?
And
actually, you know what? Honestly, I don't agree with all free speech because threatening people and like making threats towards people, I don't really consider that free speech. I don't really think that is free speech. I think you can actually get arrested for like making certain threats.
Right, and because it's no longer classified as free speech.
Yeah, I don't really agree. I mean, do you think that threatening people and like saying vulgar things like that?
Who does burning the American flag threaten?
It doesn't matter who it threatens. You're burning the damn flag. How is burning things freedom of speech? How does burning something equal speech?
Of course, because legally it's classified as symbolic speech, as an equivalent of expression. So in Texas v. Johnson, I'm gonna finish. You're gonna stop talking.
Symbolic speech now. Symbolic.
You're gonna stop talking. I'm gonna finish. Thank you. So in 1989, SCOTUS ruled in the Texas v. Johnson.
Dude, you don't need to do all this shit, bro. Have a normal conversation. We don't need all your little lecture stuff. Just talk.
I'm talking.
We don't need your little lecture shit.
If you don't like the facts, then leave, Snowflake.
You have to sit here every time, bro. Every time someone says something, you have to mute people and then go on and on and on about the most nonsense shit.
Yeah, it's not nonsense for me to describe the SCOTUS case to you that occurred in 1989 that legally defined burning the American flag as symbolic speech protected under the First Amendment. Of course you're going to run away. Hey, before you run away, why don't you help me thank a couple people? Susan Love, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you so much for the love. And then Nargina, thank you for the $130 over on Venmo. Holy shit, Nargina. This was nearly 20 minutes ago. Thank you so much, Nargina. I want to see 1,000 Nargina W's down below in the comment section.
Imagine being this
100.
childish, bro.
Wait,
imagine being this
I'm
childish.
childish for thanking somebody for a $130 donation?
Dude, look how you act. Look how you act.
I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful. Nargina with a $130 donation says, happy early birthday, Dean. I know it's been a while, but I'm always supporting / tuning in when I can. Thank you for all that you do, lovely. Thank you so much for the $130. That is fucking bonkers. I know this dude as well as Alec. Alec with a $200 donation over on Venmo. Oh my God. That is so much. Thank
Dean, I'm
you,
glad
Alec.
you get money handed to you, bro. That's wonderful, bro. I'm happy for you.
I appreciate that. Now allow me to finish thanking Alec. That is ALEC. Alec with a $200 donation says, have a great
Dean,
birthday
I'm gonna
tomorrow.
go now. This was fun, but
That's fine. Stop interrupting me, though, so I can thank Alec. Just leave if you want. Do it quietly. You don't have to announce your departure, my friend. Alec with the $200 says, have a great birthday tomorrow. Get wasted, and don't let anyone bring you down till the next idiot until the next idiot to get pushed. You know what? For that last guest that just ran away, get pushed. Okay, all right. In accordance with Alec's professional request, Alec and Nargina, that is so incredibly kind of you both. Seriously, you guys, that is so much goddamn money. Thank you guys so much for the love. If everybody watching can please show some love to both Alec and Nargina down below in the comment section. At least 1,000 Nargina W's and 2,000 Alec W's. It would absolutely make my day. Thank you both for your kindness and your generosity. That is seriously so much money, and I'm very grateful for it. Very grateful for it. We got that next guest connecting. I don't know if this guy's a Trump supporter. I see him a lot on my For You page every so often. Block Boy. Let's see if he's here. Hey, what's up, man? Are you a Trump supporter?
Hello?
What the fuck?
No, I support Brookhaven. Who do you think should be the mayor of Brookhaven?
Oh, I thought that was someone else. That's like, so they had like 666,000 followers. Dude, good for that kid. He's like 13, getting like 3 million views a post. Good for you. Good for you. I'm proud. I'm proud of you. I truly am. You're killing it. Holy shit. Dude has like almost 1 million followers. He's like 5 years old. Good for that guy. Anyways, I thought he was this other guy who like uses like a Roblox persona, but he like talks about politics. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about, but he does news and politics, and political breakdowns and whatnot. Every so often he'll do a video on me. I thought it was another person, but no, it's just some unknown 7-year-old with like nearly 1 million followers. But let's go to get that next guest up in here. We got Todd McDonald loading in. It doesn't look like Todd is here, so we are going to try to move on to the next guest. But guys, seriously, please show some love to Alec and Nargina still.
I love you! I love you!
Wow, goodbye. And also make sure that we're following the rules. I'd also like to quickly thank Ari for the $10 on Venmo, saying it is so sad to see so many Gen Z support Trump. I always thought our generation would be more progressive than our grandparents' generation. Well, it still is more progressive than our grandparents, but you know, there's definitely a lot of Trump supporters in Gen Z. That's what I'm trying to change, as well as Eric and Even. I appreciate you both for the 5. And then Christy, thank you for the $50 over on Venmo. Christy with a 50 says, happy early birthday. Are you taking it off tomorrow? Love you, your music, and your mentorship of young conservative men. America needs you. Christy, that is so incredibly kind of you. And no, I'm going to be live. I will be live tomorrow. So thank you so much for the $50. That is so incredibly kind of you. In fact, if we could please get 500 Christy W's down below in that chat while we're looking for that next Trump supporter, it would mean so much to me, as well as Ken. Thank you for the $25 over on Venmo saying, happy early birthday, Dean, and enjoy your day tomorrow, and always remember the designated driver. The DD is very important. Ken, you've been here for a while. I recognize your name, and thank you so much for the $25 on top of the birthday wishes. Thank you, Ken. And then Christopher with the 21. Thank you, Christopher. That's Christopher with a K, saying, enjoy your 21st. I'm a fellow Colorado native, 55 years old, and enjoy you and your friends like Parker. Would love to help mod on the Facebook account if you need the help. Well, unfortunately, Christopher, I don't have a Facebook account. It's fake. You know, that Facebook account that's titled Dean Withers and has 500,000 followers? It's not real. It's not mine. I don't know who runs it. Welcome in, Junior. Are you MAGA?
Yes, sir. What's up?
How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Perfect. What year were you born in?
2006.
Perfect. Go ahead and take it away and tell us why you support Trump.
Yeah, man. So what's Ephesians 21? Oh, man, what is it?
It's a book of the Bible. Come on, bro.
No, it's not. No, you know you're smiling because it's not true.
It's not.
Dean, come on, man.
I misspoke.
You misspoke? What did you mean?
Deuteronomy 21.
Are you sure? So why'd you post it?
Why did dude? Because I misspoke. Didn't catch the fact that I misspoke until after I posted the video. This is gonna.
Do you not fact check your videos before you post it?
Do you know how long ago I posted this video?
Doesn't really matter, does it?
I posted this video almost 3 years ago.
All right. Anyways,
I'm gonna get shit
let's
for
talk
this
about
for the
abortion.
rest.
Man.
I'm gonna get shit for this for the rest of my life. No, let me tell you, Jeremy.
Okay,
I
let's hear it.
actually take this as a win, and let me tell you why I take this as a win. The biggest thing that the right has on me is me misspeaking and misquoting a Bible verse in a singular TikTok video I posted nearly 3 years ago. I think I'm doing pretty damn good.
Debatable.
Come on, you're bringing up a misquoted Bible verse from a video 3 years ago. It's like the biggest terrible thing Dean's ever done. I'm doing pretty damn good, bro.
I got one more thing for you.
Well, hopefully that one more thing is a reason why you support Trump.
Yeah, man. So anxiety pen, huh? Are you sure it's an anxiety pen or is it a vape?
It's not.
Okay, anyways, all right. So the reason I support him is because this is social policies, not really the economic policies, but mostly just because, abortion and the transgenderism, especially for the gender affirming care for minors, quote unquote. So you can choose whatever.
Point number one, we can't talk about trans individuals on TikTok Live. The live will get taken down. Point number two, transgenderism is not a word, but we just have to completely drop that subject or else you will get your account banned and so will I, which would be sad.
Oh, no. Okay.
I know, it sucks. I wish I could talk to you about that. Now, about your first point, abortion. So you support Trump because he wants to leave abortion up to the states. Why do you think abortion should be left up to the states?
Well, I don't think that. I think it should be. I'm an abolitionist, so I think it should be completely banned everywhere.
Even in cases of rape?
Yeah.
So why don't you think that victims of rape should be able to access abortion?
Well, no, I think the victims are obviously victims, and I think it's horrible. But I think that it is a human life, and it shouldn't be, murdered because of any reason at all. And if I held the position that it is murder, I can't have exceptions because obviously it's murder.
So, Delilah, I appreciate you for the galaxy. So, let me ask you a question here. So, if you, Delilah, thank you for a second galaxy. So, if you made just enough money to buy yourself food, okay, and for the next 9 months, every single night when you're asleep, somebody's going to walk in through your unlocked front door and take half of your food, and then they're going to go eat it. And if they do this for the next 9 months, there's around a 5% chance that you're going to die from starvation. And you are definitely going to be both in physical pain and mental pain for the next 9 months. Do you think it should be illegal for you to lock your front door at night if that prevented that person from taking half of your food, even if they would turn around and die from starvation as a result?
In your hypothetical, I would agree with you, but in real life, it doesn't happen. You're literally in that hypothetical. That person's not going to turn around and die from starvation. There's so many different things you can do to eat.
I agree. Like the hypothetical is pretty unrealistic, but it's the conceptual takeaway that you just agreed to that is realistic. Because the conceptual takeaway from that would be if a third party is taking your resources from you without your consent, you are under no obligation, either legally or morally, to continue to provide them your resources, even if cutting them off kills them. Right? And now the equivalency here to like a victim of rape getting an abortion would be, well, that fetus requires their resources to live and is taking it from them without their consent. They're under no obligation to provide those resources to them, meaning that morally speaking, it is permissible for them to cut off those resources, even if the fetus dies as a result.
Mm-hmm. But I would also say that the mother has a parental or biological, I don't know the word, but a parental or biological, need for the child to not unalive the child. It's different from someone breaking into your house,
So you're saying that she's obligated to provide those resources to them because they're biologically related?
It's her child, yeah, 100%.
Oh my goodness gracious. So
Would you disagree?
So if a woman is like forcefully impregnated with an IVF baby, meaning it's still grape and she's still pregnant from said grape, but she's not biologically related to it, in that circumstance, do you think she should be able to access abortion?
No, I would say that the child has the right to
what obligation would exist?
The parental.
But there would be no parental obligation if they're not biologically related.
But it would still be her child, though, right?
Well, would it be? No, it's biologically not her child.
But parentally, it is. If she doesn't choose to have...
What do you mean it's parentally... what do you mean it's parentally her child if it's not genetically related to her? And the only reason it's growing inside of her uterus is because of a force of grape.
Well, because she'll still be pregnant with her child. it'll still be her child because she's pregnant with it.
What do you
It's
mean?
in her body
What do you mean? What do you mean her child?
because it's in her body.
In her
She's-
body. So you're basically telling us that at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So you actually don't believe that you have an obligation to provide your resources to a non-consenting third party without your consent, and you could stop providing them your resources, even if it kills them and that's morally permissible, unless it's in the body of a raped 9-year-old.
Well, in the case you just brought up, a rape 9-year-old is very, very rare. But yeah, sure, 100%, yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Right. And you call yourself a Christian. And you
100%.
call yourself a Christian.
It's called being a. Why are you meeting me?
And you call yourself a Christian. See, man,
100%, man.
there's something so morally broken about you and many other people that are very similar to you, where you misconstrue these Christian ideals that are supposed to bring people together and are supposed to make our world better to the extent where now you're telling me that you think a raped 9-year-old has more of an obligation to keep those around her alive than you.
No, I'm saying that a raped 9-year-old should not have the choice to unalive her child.
Well, think about it. Let's just compare it to the analogy I gave you. So, like in the analogy, if you're a homeowner, you said that you should be allowed to lock your front door at night to prevent another entity from taking your resources from you, even if their lack of your resources kills them, right? You should have the ability to do that. You, as an adult man, should have the ability to stop the supply of your resources to another party, even if it kills that party. But a 9-year-old girl that is raped doesn't have that same ability, right? Even though it is the same exact circumstances of stopping the supply of their resources to a non-consenting third party, right? The situation is identical to the analogy that I gave you. So why do you think that 9-year-old victims of rape have more obligations generally than adult men?
Yeah, well, I'd say it's the difference is the intent. In your analogy that you just gave me, when you lock your door, the person that's dying from starvation, that is just a natural cause of locking your door. It's kind of their fault because they're not doing anything else to kind of survive. The child doesn't have that choice. They are getting unalive from the intent to have the abortion, and that is a choice that I think shouldn't be a choice.
So you're telling us the
It's just
difference
by
is that
definition.
in the situation of abortion, it is the case that you're not just cutting off the resources, you're directly killing it. But in the analogy, you're cutting off the resources, which is indirectly killing it. However, what the abortion pill will do is it will cut off the resources by literally stop the woman or girl's ability from supplying progesterone through the umbilical cord to feed the fetus, which starves it to death as a secondary consequence, very similar to the analogy that I gave you. So are you basically telling me that under your view, the abortion pill is justified, as the death of the fetus is merely a second-order consequence of the woman or girl stopping the supply of their resources to feed it?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess that's what you're saying, but I mean, still, I'm just being consistent.
So you just said I guess so. You just said I guess so. So now you're okay with any and all abortions up to like 15 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. And he left. So that's chat. That's what we call a phil bro, a philosophy bro, that will say things to be intentionally provocative because they think it's logically consistent, right? So like he was willing to argue that like 9-year-old victims of rape should have more obligations than adult men in the same context because he thought it was logically consistent. Things to be, I was able to effectively prove his logic wrong as it related to his argument and how it would byproduct affirm the abortion pill. He conceded and then left. Like, ugh, man, no empathy, dude. What's up, Maga Joseph? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
That would be a British child. Goodbye, British child. Moving on to the next guest, we got Leo connecting. Mandy, thank you for the galaxy. That's very kind of you. As well as Joseph. Thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. That is so kind of you. Let's get 500 Josephs down below in that chat. Thank you, Joseph. That is Joseph spelled Joseph. Thank you so much, Joseph. A billion times over. Joseph says, have a great birthday tomorrow. This country needs more intelligent young people like you. Well, thank you so much, Joseph. That is so very kind. Show some love to Joseph down below. as well as Inked Lens with a $10 saying that guess was wrong
Hello.
and that pediatric grape is not rare. Unfortunately, dude, it's outrageous. Very sad. Welcome in, Leo. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How old are you?
20.
All right. Great. What year were you born in?
2005.
Perfect. Maya, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Jeremy with the $5. Michaela with the $5. Brandon with the $10 saying happy early birthday, Dean. Thank you, Brandon. And then Destiny with the $10 also saying happy early birthday, Dean. Thank you so much, Destiny and Brandon. Show some love to Destiny and Brandon down below. I'd also quickly like to thank Jay for another $50 over on PayPal. Thank you, Jay. On top of those 500 Josephs, let's also get 500 Jays. Thank you so much. Oh, and that's so cool. That's so cool. So Jay's talking about how yesterday they met an individual that was talking about how their grandfather was a diehard Trumpist. And Jay mentioned that they know two debaters who'd be thrilled to debate him. She interrupted and she said, "Are you talking about Dean Withers?" It was beautiful. It was a beautiful start of a friendship. Wow, that is so cool, Jay. That's so awesome. I appreciate you for sharing that with me. And thank you for the $50, Jay. Show some love to Jay down below. Now, hey, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Fuck nigger. I hate bitch ass.
And banned. We're going to get that next guest up in here. Everyone just give us a minute. I'd also like to thank Matthew for the $15 over on PayPal. Matthew with the $15 says, I'm in the military and I don't think it should be illegal for a civilian to burn a flag if they want. Yeah, dude, because it's free speech. You should be able to do things even if others disagree with it. Thank you for the $15, Matthew. Then Zoe with a $5 saying happy early birthday tomorrow. Thank you so much. And then John with a $21 for the Uber ride home tonight. Thank you, John. Let's get 200 John W's. As well as Nick with the $5. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Nick. Welcome in, Katie. How we doing? Katie, are you here? Okay, Katie's not here, so we're going to go to remove Katie from the live. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. Once again, if you want to support me, you can find my Venmo in the link tree in my bio. You can also find the PayPal down there. However, I will say you should first, if you want to support me, please first attempt to support me on Venmo compared to PayPal. Although I have regained my ability to receive donations on PayPal, I don't fully have the account back yet. I did have a handful of PayPal employees tell me that they were working on getting it back. So it sounds like I will, but it's not like guaranteed, if that makes any sense. We're kind of in like a weird limbo. But let's go to move on to the next guest. All right. As well as Maya. Thank you for the $20 on Venmo. Maya says they'll run away so fast when you prove them wrong. Thank you so much for standing up for what you believe in. Thank you, Maya. That is very kind of you. Everybody watching, show some love to Maya down below. Show some love to Maya down below while we're getting the next guest, Justin, loaded in. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. We got that next guest connecting as we speak. What is up? Do you support Trump?
Yo, what's up?
What's up? Are you MAGA?
Oh, absolutely not. Fuck no.
Absolutely not. Unfortunately, we're only looking for Trump supporters, so I gotta ban you. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest right now. Here we go. Looking for the next guest. Looks like Katie's back in the queue. We're gonna go ahead and get her up here. Hey, what's up, Katie?
Sorry, I was away from my phone and I didn't see you pick me. So
Yeah.
I had a question. How do you
I actually have a question for you first.
Oh, God.
You know what? It's fine. I'll let you ask your question first. Go ahead, Katie.
Okay, so I had a question. So how do you, when you say, okay, amnesty, how do you make sure, though, when you're doing that, how do you make sure that the people are not criminals from another country?
Through the same type of background checks we do for legal immigrants. Bam. Hey, now, Katie, when I was talking to the last guest, he was telling us that he thinks that 9-year-old victims of grape should be forced to maintain pregnant, and you typed a W guest in the comment section. Ooh.
He was pro-life. So, like, yes, I'm pro-life. Like, that's one thing that won't really change with me is being pro-life.
So if you had a daughter that got graped, that became pregnant, would you call her a murderer if her father took her to a blue state and got her an abortion?
I don't think the women that do it are murderers. I think that...
Would you allow her to get an abortion?
Well, obviously, because her right to life is going to be threatened at that age.
Assuming that you had a crystal ball and you knew she'd live through the pregnancy, would you allow her to get that abortion?
And for a 9-year-old?
That was graped?
Probably not.
All right. Well, I'm not going to allow you to stay on my life, Katie. We already went through that evil wretchedness with the last guest. You know, I gotta say, that's one of the most evil mainstream conservative beliefs. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
All right. How old are you?
22.
22. And what time is it where you're at?
In Australia, it's about 8:30 in the morning.
Very nice. We're only looking to talk to people from America, guys. If you find yourself in that queue, make sure it means that you're an American adult that wants to come up here and have a debate with me about why you support Trump. We are going to go ahead and move on to that next guest, Isaiah. Right now, I'd also quite like to quickly thank Jennifer for the $10 over on Venmo, saying, "We love what you're doing. Happy early birthday, Jennifer. Thank you for the $10 and the early birthday wishes. That is very kind of you." Alongside Nicholas with the $21 and happy early 21st. Thank you, guys. Here's to another year of cooking Maga. Hey, I just wanted to say real quick, first and foremost, let's get some W's for Jennifer and Nicholas down below. But second of all, just thank you all for all of the early birthday wishes. It really does mean a lot to me. I guess I haven't really been hyping up my birthday too much this year in my interpersonal life. I don't even have plans for tomorrow. And I just appreciate you guys for making me feel appreciated. Genuinely. Thank you guys so much for the love. But hey, welcome in, Isaiah. Do you support Trump? Nope, they're not here. We're going to move on to the next guest right now. All right. We got a Ricky is a bot 2 connecting. Beans, $5 on Super Chat, asks, how do you possess the mental fortitude to argue with Trump supporters like this for hours at a time? Man, it was something that I had to build. It was not something I just had. It was a skill I had to learn. When I first started doing these debate lives, point number 1, I only did them for 2 hours at a time. And point number 2, they had a very significant negative impact on my mental health. I actually, this is a bit personal. I don't care though. For the first couple months, I was actually kind of sent in a downward spiral related to my mental health because I did these daily lives. But now we're 2 years into it. I've gained the ability to do it. In fact, I enjoy doing it, and I almost feel worse if I don't do it for a day. Anyways, welcome in, Jennifer. Do you support Trump? Okay, doesn't look like they're here. We're going to move on to the next guest. Let's go to get Matt loaded into the live right now, everyone. Matt Thompson. Doesn't look like Matt Thompson is connecting. We're going to try to get the next guest, David, up here. Really looking for anybody to come up here and debate. What's up, David? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
April 13th. My mom's right here, too.
And thank you for the motorcycle. Is it possible for you to turn off that TV or go into a different room?
Yeah, I'll mute it.
Great. As soon as you mute it, feel free to take it away and tell us why you support Mr. Trump as president.
I support Trump mainly because of a lot of I really just don't like the Democratic Party. And so I support him from a Republican standpoint. And I feel if I sit up here and debate you on the facts, I think you'll win that every time. But from a moral standpoint, I think is where I could possibly get you here.
Yeah, so what is so heinously evil about the Democratic Party that makes you support an adjudicated rapist?
Well, I think because, sorry, let me go outside here. I watch a lot of your videos, and I don't think I've ever seen you, because I think I'm a lot proud of a lot of things that Donald Trump has, and I've seen all of your videos, and not one of them is anything positive. It's always straight negative. And also with Gavin Newsom and California and how much they've destroyed that, I think it's just all total BS from that side of the party. It's all one way or the other.
So you support Trump as president because you don't think that Gavin Newsom is doing good in California. I don't think that's an argument. The reason why is because if we didn't have Trump as president right now, we wouldn't have Gavin Newsom as president. We would have Kamala Harris as president.
No, I'm nervous. I'm fumbling my words. Sorry. That's not why I support Trump. What I'm saying is while I was trying to figure out politics to complete everybody, it's the same thing with Charlie Kirk, though, too. I think if I sat here and Charlie Kirk, there's nothing I could say that would change his mind on anything. And same with you. So I think both sides of the spectrum is total bull crap. But I do think with Donald Trump, I do support a lot of what the Republican Party does. I'm a Christian, so I am pro-life. And
I don't think that you have an argument that abortion should be legally banned. You probably have an argument that it's immoral, but definitely not legally banned. What branch of Christianity are you?
I'm non-denominational. I grew up Catholic, but I'm more non-denominational now.
Perfect, bro. Okay, great. So here's the question. Would you say that your argument at its core is that abortion should be illegal because it's a sin?
Yes, but not. Oh God, it's hard because I know there's other sins. Like I've heard you use this argument before, where like if you lied to your kid about Santa being real,
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Lying to your child and telling them that Santa Claus exists is also a sin. Should that be illegal too?
No, I don't think that should be. But like,
no. So would you argue that the sin of abortion should be legal, yet the sin of lying in some circumstances should be legal because you think the sin of abortion is worse?
yo, dude, I'm kind of terrible at this, bro. I'm gonna head out.
This is an indefensible argument. It's not that you're terrible at it, it's that there's literally no response. Okay? Because if you want to argue that these two sins should be held at a different legal standard, well, then you're going to have to argue that there's some difference between the sins. And typically that difference would be described morally by arguing that one is morally worse than the other. But there's no cogent, articulate defense inside of the gospel to attempt to conclude that one sin is any worse than any other sin, meaning that that additional badness of the sin of abortion compared to the sin that of lying isn't coming from the Bible or your perfect divine moral standard of morality, that being your God, but it's rather just coming from how you think and feel. However, because you're Christian, you necessarily reject the notion that how you think and feel is conducive towards what is truly wrong or good. But sit on that argument. We're going to move on to the next guest, just something to think about. I truly do believe that it is it's a position that just can't be defeated. That's just kind of what it is, man. I think that Catholics have an argument around it, that being because their church fathers recognized this issue with Christianity very early on and just set forth the standard that some sins are worse than others. But if you're not a Catholic or Orthodox, you can't get around it. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Great. All right. Quickly before we hop into the debate, let me thank a couple people. Emily, thank you for the $20 of Red Venmo. Thank you so much, Emily. Emily with the $20 says, happy early birthday, Dean. Your lives give me something to look forward to every day. You are so intelligent, hilarious, and just an overall amazing human being. Cheers to your 21st. You have so much to celebrate. Thank you, Emily. That is so kind of you. Not just your donation, but also your very kind words. Show some love to Emily down below. And then Jeffrey with the 10 saying, I will say assistance programs need better policing. Spend the money and try a shot of Pappy. You'll like it. I'm pretty sure a shot of Pappy will run you like $200, Jeffrey. I don't know about that. Pappy Van Winkle, right? Very expensive Christmas time whiskey. And about policing on assistance programs, what do you think that policing would look like? I'll tell you if I agree or disagree with you. As well as Sydney, thank you for the $15 saying happy early birthday. I watch your lives every day and I truly appreciate how much you advocate for the rights of others, even if the problems don't apply to you. Keep on doing what you're doing and make it a difference. Sydney, that's just being empathetic and recognizing that other people are people just like yourself and that they matter too. But I really appreciate you for your kind early birthday wishes. Thank you so much. And guess, Missy, would you like to be called Missy?
Hi. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Missy,
go ahead and take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Dude, I support Trump for a few things, I guess. The inflation is down.
It's actually up, and core inflation is up. I hate to burst your bubble, but it is.
You can tell me that inflation is up under Trump compared to Biden.
Yeah, so inflation is up over the last 6 months.
Do you know what the only percentage that Biden ever had for the lowest was 2.7% inflation for the entire time that he was president.
Core inflation, Fred. Let's look together.
Okay.
Monthly, seasonally adjusted core inflation. That's just the consumer price index. Give me a second here. There we go. United States core inflation rate, 5-year span. So right now the core inflation rate is 3.1%.
Okay. And your point, in 2023, the average inflation was over 9%.
Okay.
2022.
Yeah, this doesn't change the fact that inflation is up since Donald Trump's term begun.
It is not up. It's actually down.
Bruh. Okay.
Compare to Biden as president of the United States, it is actually down.
Okay, now you're trying to reshift.
Did you?
Okay.
Did you? Did
you're
you
trying to-
complain?
Listen, now you're trying to reshift your claim. Did you
Okay.
just call me kid?
Sure. Huh?
You just call me kid?
No. I didn't call you kid.
Okay.
Dude, I'm 56.
Now you're trying to.
Dude, I probably have a child your age, so no, and I didn't call you kid.
So now you're trying to reshift your claim into just arguing that inflation is down compared to the height of inflation onset by COVID. Yes, it is down, but I don't think this is a win that makes Trump a good president. This should be naturally expected considering the fact that the pandemic has been done and over with for the most part for the last 4 years.
Dude, that has nothing to do with it, because you compare Trump as comparing everything, and so the pandemic has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, the pandemic has all to do with it, considering the fact that it's a pandemic that caused at 9% level of inflation that you referenced to make the claim.
Okay, so then, like in 2022, the pandemic was kind of rolling off. People are getting back to work. 2023, it was pretty much, you can say economy, but I mean, honestly, it's been the worst inflation for economy-wise to survive under Biden.
Did you know that we saw the same inflation or worse in every other country in the G7? And the Biden-Harris administration was able to disproportionately reduce our country's level of inflation faster than any other country in the G7 because of their gallant and great domestic economic policy, like the Infrastructure Bill or Chips and Science Act? Right? Like, we just need to put things in perspective and add on some nuance. If we ignore, right, the economies of every other country in the world in that same, like, couple year span, 2021, 22, and 23, right, then you could paint the narrative that Biden was horrendous and caused all this inflation. But as soon as we are willing to accept new data and we look at the economies of every other country, especially G7 countries, you'll see that the same inflation happened at the same time, but we were able to work back and reduce our level quicker than any other country because of the Biden-Harris administration. So this proves that point number one, they didn't cause it, they fixed it. And point number two, they were actually able to fix it better than the leadership of any other country.
I really don't care about other countries. I care about my country.
Well,
Do you know what you're doing?
the reason why
So
other countries would matter is because it demonstrates that it wasn't caused by Biden, right? Because if it was caused by Biden, then it would have just happened in America and maybe some level of reciprocal effects in other countries.
When it was the U.S., I mean, we live in the state, U.S., do we not?
We do live
I mean,
in the
I
US.
really don't care what the economy is. Yes, I do care for the NATO and everything else involved, what their economy is, because it does influence us in the U.S. Do you know what I do want to make a statement? How you said, or someone way back said that Medicaid. Okay, Medicaid is, on my terms of welfare or medical assistance in the state of Minnesota, where I live. Example, January of 2024. They actually do allow undocumented aliens or immigrants or whatever you want to call it, actually apply for Minnesota Care, which is a state-funded health insurance, and college on the North Star program, which is, they pay for their tuition, the base tuition, all their semesters. In the state of Minnesota, there's a cap. It's $5,000 for up to 18 semesters. Or credits, I'm sorry, credits per semester.
Hey, Missy.
There were over $490,000 worth of undocumented immigrants that got this program.
Okay. So point number one, you're telling us that undocumented immigrants can access some state benefits in some states. True. And point number two.
You stated that
point number two.
no one undocumented immigrants are allowed.
I said that they can't receive federal benefits, which is true. So under the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act of 1996, our federal government strictly banned undocumented immigrants from qualifying for Medicaid and other federal public benefits, as they condensed them to only being eligible to those that are qualified and lawfully present. And this makes it so undocumented immigrants can't receive any federally funded public health benefits, and states can't use federal funding to service social safety nets to undocumented immigrants. However, right, this does not say, and I have never said, that undocumented immigrants do not qualify for any state benefits in any state, because they do, like Minnesota, or like Colorado, they qualify for some state-funded food stamps, or like California, where they qualify for Medi-Cal, which is basically Medicaid for uninsured, low-income, undocumented immigrants. Right, so I'm happy we could clear that point up. Point number two, you said that there's some undocumented immigrants receiving scholarships to go to school in your state. That's a good thing. Why? Because scholarships for going to school has a positive ROI for the American economy, as it produces a higher skilled labor force, regardless if they're a citizen or not.
Okay, so then you're saying that an undocumented illegal immigrant should actually get Minnesota state tuition funding.
I don't care. It generates a positive ROI. It gives the Minnesota government more money in the future. It has a positive ROI. Okay, so they spend like $5,000 worth of the taxpayers' funding only to get back like an additional $100,000 over the lifespan of the undocumented immigrant. Right, that's just how it works, right? That's why we give so much money to school, and likely why we should give more. Regardless if you're a citizen or not, every single dollar that is spent on school is then seen 10x'd over the lifetimes of those that it is going to. Right, that's why school is so important, as it produces a higher skilled labor force, and when you have a higher skilled labor force, the laborers make more money, meaning they contribute more to the GDP. There's more profit extracted off of them by their employer, which means their employer contributes more to the GDP, and they pay more in taxes.
Okay, so then you're trying to tell me that as an undocumented illegal immigrant, to get funding for tuition for college is actually going to come out of that 4-year college and is going to become a U.S. citizen. You're trying to tell me.
No,
and then it's going to get a job.
They'll just stay as an undocumented immigrant and continue. One second. They'll just stay as an undocumented. No, because remember, they left their country and they were so ready to leave their country that they broke federal law and underwent a threat of being removed to a place like Sikot in El Salvador to escape their country. I don't think they'll be going back. And point number two, they will continue to work in the economy, will continue to make money, will continue to pay taxes and contribute to the GDP unless they're removed from the economy by somebody like Trump. Oh, so actually what we see is that Donald Trump's mass deportation is the economic problem, as it is cutting short the return on investment of many state-level investments into the education of undocumented immigrants.
Okay, did you go to college?
I did 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. And who paid your tuition?
Well,
did you get Pell Grants? Did you get?
I got some aid, but a lot of it was me.
Okay. And do you really think, it's okay for someone that is in this country illegally to get funding that could have been given to you on a Pell Grant, maybe just a little bit more?
Missy, you're doing the thing. Can I tell you what thing you're doing?
Well, I'm just saying.
Listen, Missy, you're doing the thing. The thing that you're doing is repeating yourself. After I tell you why you're wrong. Many Trump supporters do this. I think it's subconscious or unintentionally, simply because you don't know how to respond to my refutation, so you just repeat yourself. A lot of people do it. It's a trend. I don't know why.
Another thing I do want to bring up is after COVID, of course.
Do you mind if I actually bring up to you?
No. I want to bring up my situations here, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Do it after COVID from 2023 to 2024. Medicaid, there were over 25 million people that were kicked off of Medicaid after COVID.
And how are they kicked off?
I didn't hear. What?
How are they kicked off?
Enrollment.
So less people enrolled?
Do you know what their income it could be? But my point is,
was there any change in like the federal policy to like prevent individuals from certain income? Okay, so if it wasn't a change in federal policy, it just sounds like less people enrolled in the benefits.
I'm just saying that 25 million Medicaid people were actually eliminated from Medicaid.
Right, but the question that we should be asking here is what caused that?
It could have been 64% of it was announcement of it. They actually went back and enrolled. There were backlogs for number one. It could have been, because there was a time that, with your income, they waived it. So it could have been that. But my point is that there were actually people cut off of Medicaid, and you're saying with the Medicaid under Trump that's coming up, and every state has until 2027 to actually put into that program about the restrictions for working and everything else.
Missy, I feel like I'm about
it can be up to 2027.
I feel like I'm about to snooze. I feel like I'm snoozing over here, Missy. I feel like we're not really.
Why?
I feel like we're not really going anywhere.
Because it's correct information?
I honestly, Missy, I don't know what point you're trying to make.
My point is that everyone is saying that, the Trump administration is kicking everybody off of Medicaid.
Yes, I understand your point. So the crazy liberal says that the Trump administration is cutting 10 million people off of Medicaid. But we saw all these millions of people lose benefits under the Biden-Harris administration. It doesn't look like you talked about that at all. You are a hypocrite. You only care about people losing Medicaid if it happens under Trump, but not if it happens under Biden. That is your point, right?
Absolutely not. Okay. I'm just saying, there are
Missy?
situations that families, of course, could lose their job that does have to have Medicaid or welfare or whatever you want to call it.
Missy, I'm going to hop in here.
Yep.
I appreciate you for coming up. You're not making sense to me. Maybe it's my fault. Who knows? But because you're not making sense to me, regardless of whose fault it is, I'm now going to opt to move on to the next guest. I do, however, appreciate you for your time.
Okay, great.
All
Thanks.
right. We're going to go and get that next guest up in here. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you support Trump. We'll happily load you up into the live and we'll have a good conversation. Okay. All right. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Hey, Spiral! Thank you so much for the $20 on Super Chat, saying the Trump administration and Republicans are now trying to take credit for the Infrastructure and Investment Act. They all voted against, but Democrats and Biden are the lazy devil's advocate. What do you mean they're trying to take credit for that now? Did Donald Trump say some shit? Because if so, no, that was Biden's bill. I don't know what to tell you. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
You do? All right. Give me a second here. I got to thank a couple people. Shasta, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo, saying you're the absolute GOAT. You've inspired and educated my daughters and myself. You've grown so much since I started to watch you, and I'm always impressed. I love you, and I admire you more than you'll ever know. Thank you, and let's go. Thank you, Shasta. Yo, let's show some love to Shasta down below. This Shasta. Thank you so much for your kindness. And your kind words are so incredibly compelling and mean a lot to me. Thank you so much, Shasta. As well as Roberta with a $15 saying, love listening to you. Thank you, Roberta. That is very kind of you. Ruthie with the $25 saying, happy early 21st birthday. I look forward to your lives every day, and I've learned so much from you. I don't really know how you deal with these ignorant Trump supporters. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Ruthie. Show some love to Shasta, Roberta, and Ruthie down below. Thank you so much. As well as Roberto with the $25 saying, happy early birthday, brother. I work a lot and I make sure to watch you when I can catch you online. Keep spreading knowledge, and you definitely are invited to all of the Mexican carne asadas. Roberto, my friend, let me tell you, Latin American food is gotta be my favorite on the face of the planet. I've been to Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, and Mexico on like 3 separate occasions in my life. And the one thing I remember from those 3 trips, and the only thing I remember from those 3 trips, is the fucking food. Thank you for the $25, Roberto. As well as Vincent with the $20, saying happy early birthday. I love listening to your streams in the background. Keep it up. Thank you, Vincent. Show some love to Vincent down below. And then Bambi with the $21 and Sadie with the $21. Bambi says happy early birthday, Dean. Thank you, Bambi. And then Sadie says the same thing. Happy early birthday. You guys are so kind. Thank you guys so much for the love. And then Dan, thank you so much for the $10. I'll have to check that out. That is strange. Thank you, Jan. Anyways, man, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I mean, my real question is on your last, I want to say second guess you had before Missy. How are you going to compare Santa Claus and killing a human life? That's non-comparable. In what life and form? If you think that's any remotely comparable, your mind is twisted.
You just said that God's mind is twisted, you heretic. The Bible tells us that all sins...
Another thing I got to mention.
No. You're not going to mention another thing. You just shit on God. You're going to go to hell. Listen, Christian, Bible, point number 1. We learned that all sins fall short of the glory of God outside of blasphemy. Point number 2, there's no clear description that one sin is any worse than any other sin. And every time sins are talked about in the faith, they're talked about as if they're identical in the eyes of God, as they all separate you from him. And point number 3, the interpretation of like every branch of Christianity ever outside of Catholicism and the Orthodoxy is that all sins are identical in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy. So you just said that God has a twisted brain. Are you a Satan worshiper?
I mean, maybe. To an extent, probably. But no.
Yeah, man, you're going to have to take that up on Judgment Day, not with me.
All right, well, regardless. And then, have you ever actually filled out a job application? You're talking about all these illegal immigrants getting college funding. All right, now with doing that, when you fill out a job application, it clearly states, are you a U.S. citizen? Are you able to work in the United States? On every job application. So how are they now going to go to a school and then get out of school with no documents saying they're an American citizen and then go fill out a job application?
Well,
so how does that help us in return? Because you have to be an American citizen.
Because of Obama. I'm not even kidding. He made DACA, which gives undocumented immigrants work permits. Today, 8.3 million of them are working on ITINs because of that.
But you have to acquire a permit. You have to acquire that. That's something you have to go.
And 8.3 million of them have. In fact, undocumented immigrants are more likely to work than citizens.
And not to mention, from what I just seen, what happened recently, that was an undocumented immigrant that was driving that semi-truck that killed the 3 people from making an illegal U-turn.
Okay.
From what I seen. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
I mean, I don't know what like this game is about. Oh, an undocumented immigrant did something that's illegal. Okay. Citizens do too. In fact, they're more likely to. I would assume you would be able to point out like a couple circumstances of undocumented immigrants doing things that are illegal. There's like only 11 million of them in the country. Like what? Okay. What does this tell me about why you support mass deportation or why you support Trump? It like legitimately really shouldn't inform me on much.
Oh, hey, and you should probably inform your people too. Your people you got all on your comment and that's saying silence and all that. You should probably inform them that you are muting the other person, not that they're being silent.
Okay, I muted you.
No, I know. I was just letting your guests know, all your little commenters down there know who all your little followers. I was letting all them know that I wasn't being quiet, that you muted me.
Do you want to tell us why you support Trump, my friend?
I don't support none of them, realistically. They're all a bunch of crooked fucks.
And goodbye. I should have asked him that when he first joined. Have a good rest of your day. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest, Cheryl Wright. Hey, Kins, thank you for the $20 on Super Chat saying happy early birthday.
I'm going to lick that fat ass forehead. I'm going to lick that fat ass forehead.
Okay. Kins, thank you for the $20 saying happy early birthday. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much, Kins. As well as Brad. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, Brad. It's good to see you again today, man. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Brad. Let's get 200 Brad W's. As well as William with a 10. Thank you so much, as well as for your kind message. Then Kim with a 21, saying happy early birthday. And then Melissa with a 5 for the birthday fun. And Mark with a 25, saying happy early 21st birthday as well. Thank you guys for all the support today. It is seriously so appreciated. You guys are so kind. Show some love to Mark, Melissa, Kim, William, and Brad. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You're very, very kind. Let's go ahead and get that next Trump supporter connected to the live, though. As well as I'd like to thank Carla for the $20 over on PayPal. Carla says, I love your content. Thank you, Carla. Thank you for the kindness. And then Amelia with a $10 says, love from the UK. Love to the UK. Thank you for being here. Hey, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Oh my God. Hi. I don't support Trump.
Based. Moving on to the next guest, though. Let's go ahead and move on right now. We got unapologetically something connected into the live. Great. Here we go. What is... Oh. All right. They are not connecting. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone just do be patient. We got Christina Shops connecting into the live. We got Christina Shops connecting. Here we go. All right, it doesn't look like Christina Shops is connecting either. Go ahead and hop in that queue. If you support Trump, I'll happily get you pulled up here. Quite frankly, we got Messy World 13. Woo! What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
All right, man. Why?
Learning over the years how the Democratic hurt the black community, that's why, for me.
Okay.
I'm a black man, so
Yeah.
that's why I support him.
Yeah, I think that Democrats definitely haven't been the best for black Americans. My claim would be that MAGA is worse.
I don't agree with that. The reason why I don't agree with that is because MAGA minds their business and let the black community do what they're supposed to do. There's been more bills signed for black community in the Trump era than there has been any from the Democratic side. Democrats do everything for everybody and not so-called the black community specifically. Outside of that, Trump goes back to the Constitution. For me, I'm a person who's had felonies and things of that nature. Trump will be the first person that I've seen that made the First Step Act where Obama could have signed during his time, and he didn't sign that.
Yeah. So point number one, there's a lot of consequences of systemic racism, such as point one, the fact that the average socioeconomic standing of a black American is lower than that of the average white American because of its slavery and its aftermath. Point two, poverty rates are higher for black Americans compared to that of white Americans because of systemic racism, slavery, and its aftermath. Leading to point three, when we see people on the right like Trump imposing regressive tax on the poor like tariffs or passing the big beautiful bill which reduces your after-tax income the less money you make while serving to the better interests of the top 1%, or taking away women's access to abortion when 65% of women that get abortions indicate that it's because of financial instability. All of these issues disproportionately negatively impact black people for the reasons that I just granted, that being that their socioeconomic standing is lower on average because of systemic racism, right? And when we look at the Democrats, although I agree, there's a lot of false promises about wanting to serve to the better interest of black Americans, but then they pass no policy directly intended to help black Americans. They do significantly better at attempting to uplift low-income Americans, which disproportionately helps black individuals compared to white individuals, and attempts as a counteract against the disproportionate harm that is caused on black individuals by the right. And that's just an economic evaluation on how the left is better for black Americans than the right. But socially speaking, it is a whole different fucking story. Point number one, Donald Trump has launched attacks on black men and has tried to prevent them from getting a job because of their race, i.e. the birther myth. It is very true. The birther myth of Barack Obama. He told everybody with no reason, no evidence whatsoever, that Obama was born in Africa, so therefore he's not constitutionally eligible to run for the presidency, so therefore you shouldn't vote for him.
Outside of Hillary Clinton stating that first, I mean, granted, if Trump was being a follower, I'm not going to argue with that. You can have that one all day. We're going to leave that on the table. But
point of correction, Hillary Clinton didn't start it. I will say her followers did, though.
Okay, even still, if he wanted to be a follower and play that politic game with that's cool, no problem. That's politics. That was the only part of the politics side of the game that he did do to try to, bring a divide
Right,
to
you
get
just
into
said it's okay for this racist white man to be racist towards a black man, and it's fine because it's politics.
Well,
Come on.
Well, I'm just saying to you, in the world of America, there's racism everywhere. So there's going to be an ism or a schism that I have to deal with regardless. But I'm not trying to put that on the table. I'm going to go back to policy once again.
But look at just like evaluate what you just said. So like I give you like a really like in-depth like socioeconomic evaluation on how the left is better for Black Americans compared to the right, and then I also go into like social issues like Donald Trump literally being a bigoted POS and attempting to restrict a black man from getting a job because he's black, and you say that it's fine, right? Like seemingly the reasons why you say that the right is better for Black Americans than the left has nothing to do with how good or bad the left is, and has all to do that when the right is racist, you just belligerently ignore it.
Well, no, the reason why I'm not going to go into full detail on it is because I have other topics. If I try to stick on that, we're going to be going back and forth all day. That's why I'm trying to get to the next topic. So I have to let that go for the moment. Because once again, if you talk about what the Democrats did, the bill that you just got done saying, which was the Infrastructure Act, that bill caused over $1.2 trillion to the deficit. So when you say this, when Trump was during COVID, the Democrats ran the House, which allowed the bill to send money to different places where Trump wanted to give the money back to the U.S. citizens. So there's a lot of mixed conceptions in between money being sent out during COVID and during the Biden era. So I would look at Trump as a better person because he tried to give the money back specifically to the American people when he was forced to sign it because he didn't want to look like the president that didn't want to help at all because the House was making it look like that. Remember, the Democrats ran the House in 2020. So you brought up one of that statement. So I'm just trying to make sure I have the proper dialogue back and forth with you. I'm going to listen to what you say. Go ahead.
Yeah, so point number one, Trump signed in more debt into law than Biden. So you just said that the infrastructure bill costs $2.1 trillion. Yeah, sure. That was a large part of the $4.6 trillion that they signed into debt. But in Donald Trump's first term, he signed $8.6 trillion worth of debt into law. And you just tried to give me some description that a lot of that was from COVID that he didn't want to do, but if he didn't do it, he would have been painted as a bad president. Well, even if we ignore all of the COVID-related expenditure, he still spent $4.8 trillion, according to the CRBF, a non-COVID-related expenditure, which means if we account for every dollar signed into law in debt by Biden and Harris, then only account for the dollars signed into debt by Trump that were not related to the pandemic, he still spent more.
Okay. And like I would like to add a little bit to that. Even with you saying that, the difference between what Trump did, he was trying to add back to the economy. So the money that was looking to be spent went back to the economy. It didn't go to just some random people. Once again, the COVID bill that got signed in 2020, that money went to different countries. Only if you count the $600 plus the $1,200 that they gave for children, that ain't even equate to, I think, like.
So is that a bad bill?
To me personally, it's a bad bill because
guess who was president in 2020?
No, listen. You're right. He was president in 2020, but who made the bill that they were not allowed to get past?
A disproportionate conservative Congress.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I get what you're trying to do. I'm not mad at it. The next thing, like I said, HR 58, if I'm not mistaken, Trump signed a bill for Black Americans to allow them to learn their own personal history. Which, granted, it wasn't a lot of money at the time, but it was $50,000 for Black Americans to teach their own histories. If I'm not mistaken, it's HR 58.
I would love to look into HR 58, especially considering the fact that Donald Trump said that he wants to take parts out of museums in D.C. that talk about how bad slavery was because it is woke. Right?
Okay.
So I mean, like, this seems like very contradictory.
I'm not a big slavery history person to say like I'm appreciative of it because all my life I'm 37. I'm 36, about to be 37. All my life, learning about slavery, it just taught me that I can't do nothing past whatever the so-called slavery thing is. But that bill that
but wait, if that's what you took away from learning about slavery, then I think that you weren't taught the importance of understanding what slavery was and how it actually still resonates today.
No.
But the actual teachings of slavery helps you understand the systematic racism that still occurs today.
No, I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of
Okay.
that. Sorry to cut you off because I didn't know that you just jumped into what I was talking about. But when I say a lot of people don't learn past those things, I'm very aware what slavery teaches you from the understanding of how it started, the middle, and then the ending, or where there's still remnants of it that applies to this day. But a lot of people don't get past slavery to the fact that this is where they so-called started from. This is why you have ADOS and FD, foundational Black Americans, whatever the case may be. They only come up because they're trying to counter that to help people get out of that mindset. But I repeat,
Well, hold on. Let me just jump in for 2 seconds. Like the importance of not only understanding this, but the reason why Dean brought up the removal of Black history from the Smithsonian, which it's not just something that he tried to do, it's something that he actively has done. And even more so, like we have actual living Black people that are, trying to put pieces into the Smithsonian. Like there's an artist who's on TikTok, Dantro Boone Bonet, who actually had historical pieces that were scheduled to go into the Smithsonian, but were not actually allowed into the Smithsonian because Donald Trump said it was quote unquote DEI, right? I mean, literally, Donald Trump is trying to whitewash history and downplay the history of slavery when it comes to what the United States has done to Black people.
Right.
And upholding that actual premise is something that it literally is just white supremacy talking points. Like that's weird.
Right. Then I also Santana, I don't know if like you saw this. So I made like a socioeconomic argument to demonstrate that the left is better than the right. And then I went on to like describe, socially speaking, how Donald Trump is just a belligerent racist by bringing up how he perpetuated the birther myth of Obama, which basically aimed to intend to limit the job opportunity of a Black man because they're a Black man. He said that he didn't care.
No, I can't go into it. I didn't say I didn't care. I can't go into it. It's pointless to trying to go into point to point.
You said, and I quote, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I don't care to go back and forth about it.
Well, and I heard what he said as far as there's always a ism or schism that he has to deal with. While I do agree with that point, I disagree with the actual point of understanding that there's a difference between overt racism and covert racism, and someone like Donald Trump that perpetually pushes overt racism, right? And someone who's actively harmful. Yes, Dean mentioned the fact that he was trying to keep a Black man from getting a job in the sense of Barack Obama. But I mean, hell, we can talk even more recently. I mean, we can talk about what he's trying to do to Lisa Cook, right? The current governor of the Fed, and how he's specifically targeting her, who she's actively in a term that doesn't end until 2023. And he's trying to replace her specifically so he can install a loyalist to get more power within the Fed. But also, 2-for-1, it's because she's a Black woman, right? I mean, he's not specifically targeting anyone else.
Listen, when you say that, I would have to give that, right, to let you have that the same way I had to allow the racist Joe Biden that made the 94 crime bill. Granted, the Black people agreed to it.
He didn't make the 94 crime bill.
He was not the sponsor, the main author, right? He wasn't. Now he wasn't.
No.
What about the bill that he also made in 1985 with the crack laws as well?
Joe Biden specifically actually wrote a specific part of the crime bill, which was towards victims, women that were victims, right?
Wait, did he just say? Wait, did the guest just say CRACK?
Huh?
Did you just say CRACK?
Oh yeah, I think he did.
Oh, pardon me, I didn't know.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. Gotta kick you. Can't say the names of any DRUGS on TikTok. I gotta say, that is like one of like their stupidest rules.
You cannot.
Right? Like I get it if they want to like ban people for like advocate, like talking about how they do it or saying that it's good, but just having like conversation, right, about like politics, policy, and society. Like it's crazy that they crack down on that.
Not Dink doing it. Yeah, I'll say this just to kind of put a bow on that entire like brief conversation. I mean, again, I think it's a little bit asinine that people try to go for the well, Biden this, Trump that. I mean, like, and I know you've run through it, I've run through it, everyone's run through it. Like, there's a huge difference between Trump and Biden yes, we can admit that both of them have perpetuated racism in different ways, but there's a huge discrepancy when you talk about Biden and Trump and what Biden has actively done to not only correct his behavior, but to be better. So it doesn't equate.
Right, right. Well, I mean, like, listen, man, like the Democratic Party, like, certainly is not the best for Black Americans. And I think that there's a lot of people that don't recognize that. A lot of people that like don't agree to like some sense with that statement. But at the end of the day, it's true, right? But what's also true is that the right is even worse. The right is significantly worse. Significantly worse.
I tell you, as a Black man in America, I've constantly been forced to vote for harm reduction. Even in the case of Barack Obama, it's been harm reduction. So anyway, listen, I'm going to drop and let you get back to your debate. So I appreciate you having me up.
Man, Santana, I appreciate you for joining. If you ever, if you have some time before I end and you just want to come up and hang out and do some General Coast, and feel free. Love having you up.
All right, I'll see you later.
Yep, cool. Peace out. Welcome in. What's going on, Christy? Do you support Trump?
Oh, yeah, I support Trump.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Oh, geez Louise. Christy, that's very bad. You should not support him. He is the worst president of your life. Quickly, before we hop into the debate, I got a couple people to thank. First and foremost, L. Valentine and Johnny. L. Valentine and Johnny, I appreciate the both of you for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Let's get 500 L. Valentine W's and 500 Johnny W's. L. Valentine says, happy early birthday, D Money. Good to see you again, L. Valentine, and thank you for the love. As well as Johnny with a $50 says, I've started a dialogue with the nice people campaigning next to me that are non-denominational Christians and are Trump supporters. They told me they are interested in political debate, so I'm excited to have that debate with him after dinner. You know what, Johnny? I hope you have fun. I love having conversations about Christianity as it relates to politics too. You should come back and tell us how it goes. Thank you for the $50, both of you. You're epic. As well as Erica, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. The Nina with a 15 saying it's almost time. Have fun on your 21st. Thank you, Nina. Show some love to Nina and Erica. Then Winnie with a 5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. As well as Lily, thank you so much for the $21 over on PayPal. Saying, have a good birthday tomorrow in case I don't make it to the live. Thank you, Lily. That is Lily. Show some love to Lily down below. As well as, once again, Carla with a 20, but I think I shouted you out earlier. I appreciate everyone so much for all the love. And Christina, the mic and the floor are yours. Why the hell would you support a Trump that doesn't support you?
Awesome. Well, first I want to say some things about myself that are true. I was a foster kid. I volunteer with the homeless, and I'm a woman. So to do with that, as a host body for Trump, I think that women shouldn't have any rights. We should just give in our bodies, and we should give our bodies to the government. We should let them depict what we watch on TV. We should let them control our schools and put everything as a religious state. I think it should just be a communist country. I think that's what Trump's going for, and I think that's what we should all support. I think that with the homeless situation, I volunteer with the homeless. They're making it illegal to be homeless. They're taking away the food stamps, Medicaid, everything that supports the homeless. So more of us are going to become homeless, and I think that's great. And then we're going to outlaw being homeless on top of it. Another thing, yeah, we're taking away our constitutional rights.
You're cooking, Christina. You're cooking. Okay. By the way, she was trolling. She wasn't a Trump supporter. She was talking about things that the Trump administration are doing. I hope you have a good rest of your day, Christina. Because let me make it clear. You're cooking. You're cooking. Okay? All right. We're going to get that next guest, Charlie, loaded up into the box. If you're watching me and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo in the link tree in my bio. I appreciate everyone so much for all the love so far today. Let's go to load up that next guest. Eric, thank you for the $20, saying they say it's your birthday, so happy birthday to ya. Well, it's actually not my birthday yet. Tomorrow is my birthday. I appreciate you for the love, Eric. Thank you for the $20. But tomorrow is the birthday. Tomorrow is the big day, quite frankly. As they like to say. What's up? Do you support Trump? Band. See ya. Moving on to the next guest. Will I be live tomorrow? Yeah. I've spent my last 2 birthdays on lives with y'all. I will be live again with you guys tomorrow, as always. Let's go to get that next guest connected. Here we go, guys. Hop in that queue of your Maga. We'll get you connected. We'll have a good conversation. Here we go. Here we go. Next guest is loading in. Go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section if you want to come up. What is going on, Jazzy? Do you support Trump?
I don't, but my boyfriend does, and I just want advice real quick, if that's okay.
I'll give you a question.
Okay. He is basically doesn't really follow politics, and essentially it's this whole thing where he thinks that the terrorists are really great, and his dad is a huge MAGA supporter. He's a surgeon that supports the whole family of 5. His mom is a stay-at-home mom, and we broke up. We got back together, and we try to avoid talking about politics, and the whole thing is just like it bothers me because every time I think about it, my mother is an immigrant and my father is a child of an immigrant. We're just a whole thing of Hispanics, and
listen,
it bothers me because I'm always scared about this kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm shaking talking about this.
Here's my advice. So there's 2 possible outcomes of your relationship with your boyfriend. Either you grow old with him, and if you want kids, you will have children with him, or you'll break up. Now, if you select option number 1, you grow old with him and have kids with him, do you want that kind of influence rubbing off on your children? And what exactly is that influence? And is it bad? Right? So there's your first point of consideration. How do you want your future children to grow up? And point number 2, it is possible for minds to change. If it wasn't possible, then I wouldn't be doing these lives. So maybe it's worth exploring if his mind can be changed. If you truly do love him and value your relationship with him, that would be my first course of action. And honestly, if you are super scared and shaky at the idea of trying to talk to him about these things.
Oh no, I'm just shaky because I'm surprised that I'm having this conversation.
Okay, no worries.
That's all.
I was gonna say, if you're
I have
scared and
generalized
shaky
anxiety disorder. No. I have generalized anxiety disorder. Public talking is a big thing for me.
No worries.
No, it's yeah.
I would say either leave him, accept him, or try to change his mind because the stakes are high. That's all.
I always try to.
I appreciate you so much for coming up here, and I hope you have a good rest of the night. Leave him, accept him, or change his mind. Very important to do. That's a shoes that I put myself in a lot. It's like I have a partner, and I'm either gonna end up breaking up with him or having kids with him. Right? I'm either gonna end up breaking up with him or having kids with him, right? And if I have kids with him, I'm gonna want my kids to be raised by good parents, right? And I want to ensure that my partner would be a good parent and teach my kids the right things. So, that's very, very important. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Did I say him? I'm sorry. I actually have a girlfriend. I think I said im. I meant to say im. I accidentally said him. I have a girlfriend. We're going to move on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. What's up, Whitney? Do you support Trump? Oh, no. I know what the right's going to be running with now. Let's go to move on to the next guest. We got Maddie connecting. All right, here we go. All right, they're not connecting. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and get that next guest connecting. Guys, only up in that queue if you're an American adult that supports Trump. Only up in that queue if you're an American adult that supports Trump. All right, here we go, guys. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I sure do, man.
All right, how old are you?
18.
Cool. First and foremost, Valkyrie, thank you so much for the $21 over on Venmo. Let's get 200 Valkyrie W's down below. And yeah, I will read that to myself. You got it, Valkyrie. Thank you for the $21, as well as Kelly. Thank you so much for the $21 and the 21 cents. Thank you, guys. Kelly says, happy almost birthday. I fought 7 years of infertility to have my daughter late in life. She's 14. I am 43. I worry so much about her future, but you give me so much hope. Thank you for fighting for her future, Kelly. We should all be fighting not only for the future of your daughter, but everyone else like your daughter, every other 14-year-old girl and 14-year-old boy. And honestly, not even the younger generations, but, the Gen Z, millennia, and baby boomers. I think that everybody deserves a better future because right now it's getting pretty bleak. Welcome in. Albert, take it away. Why are you MAGA?
So look, honestly, we got to talk about the vape edition. We gotta talk about it, man.
You can't get addicted to natural herbs like lavender or chamomile.
We all know that's not true, Dean. Come on.
It is true.
Show it to the camera then.
Show the lavender and chamomile anxiety pin.
Let me see it.
You're not my boss. You don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
He left. We're gonna go and move on. All right, guys. What are we doing? What happened to all the Trump supporters? I don't know where they went. They just disappeared. They disappeared. Is there any Trump supporters watching? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. They're in hiding. Yo, it's crazy how many people think that like that clip of me crashing out over the pin is serious. I mean, it like cracks me up. But honestly, at this point, it's getting kind of annoying because there's seriously like millions of people on the right that heckle me about it. What's up? Do you support Trump? All right, they're not here. We're gonna move on to the next guest. I gotta say though, I'm gonna stop doing that. You know, because I don't get embarrassed easily. But the other day, I had a really embarrassing experience because of that. I was out in public. A couple people like came up to me, asked for pictures. Got to meet them. That was awesome. But then like these 3 younger dudes that didn't know who I was just walked up and they're like, "Hey, like, what do you do? Like, why are these people taking pictures with you?" You know, they were curious. And I was like, "Oh, like I do social media." Then they're like, "Really? Do you have an Instagram? What's your name?" I told them, "Oh, just search up Dean Withers." So they did it there on the spot. And then the next thing I hear is out of one of their phones, the audio of me like crashing out over the anxiety pin. And they were just standing there, dead look on their face, looking down at their phone, then looking back up at me. Obviously, because of what I do, it's not easy for me to feel embarrassment. I was so embarrassed in that moment. Anyways, Maddie, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Are you MAGA?
Okay. I am not, but I just wanted to...
I'm so sorry, Maddie. I do have to remove you just because we are specifically looking for Trump supporters. I bet that you're going to say something super kind, and I really hope that you don't take me removing you from the live as a token of disrespect. Show some love to Maddie down below. But guys, make sure that we are following the rules and that we're in the queue. We are MAGA. What's up? Do you support Trump? Nope. Goodbye. All right, guys, we're going to go and put the rules back up in the middle of the phone screen. Take a good look. Only join if you're 18 plus, American, MAGA, and ready to debate. Rule breakers get banned. We're going to start enforcing them 110%. If you break the rules, you're going to get banned. So, yeah. What's up? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay. Age, please.
18.
And what time is it?
What, where I live?
Yeah.
1 a.m.
What's the second rule? Banned! Moving on to the next guest. All right. Moving on to the next guest. User 7134175. What the hell? Let's go to get that next guest up here. We got user 7134175029738 connected. Hi, user 7134175029738. Do you support Trump?
I sure do.
Okay, how old are you? User 7131475029738.
You can just call me RJ.
All right, RJ, how old are you?
I am 50.
50. RJ, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I believe his policies are going to set the United States back on track to be a superpower again.
Oh, which one? The fuck you die bill that's kicking 10 million people off of healthcare and costing $4.5 trillion? Or the anti-constitutional EOs taking away your 1st and 14th constitutional rights? Which ones?
Are those my only choices?
No, I guess not. If you have other policies, feel free to name them.
I mean, I think the immigration policy is on point.
Okay, the mass deportation. Here's my question. What is one way that the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants materially benefits this country?
Materially benefits? Is
Yeah.
that what you said?
Yes, just one specific way it helps.
It helps us gain our jobs back.
It actually deletes jobs, right? Because we're kicking out 8.3 million of our positive economic contributors that pay 1.1 trillion through 1.7 trillion dollars into the year to the GDP. So it gets rid of jobs by reducing the productive capacities of our manufacturers by taking away their producers, and by reducing the productive capacities of our manufacturers by taking away their consumers.
Fair. I understand your point. But they're still not legal citizens.
Okay, right. Well, you're still not answering my question, because you're the one that told me that his policy is going to get us back on track and help the country. All that I'm doing is asking you specifically how.
Oh, okay. Well, through deportation, it's going to open up positions for people that are not employed in this country that are citizens to actually get a job.
But overall, our country is going to be hurt, and there's going to be less total jobs. I just described to you why, too. You're doing the same thing that I forget her name was doing to not even like 15 minutes ago, where you make a claim, I prove it wrong, and then you repeat the claim.
Okay.
Right? Because like, once again, I'll just quickly go through this with you again. You told us that this will ensure that there's more jobs. I said, no, it's actually going to ensure that there's less jobs, because it will really shrink our economy by getting rid of 8.3 million of our laborers and 11 million of our consumers, and cut our GDP by nearly $2 trillion, and making our producers and our companies that are offering jobs less efficient. We lose jobs.
So what I hear you saying is that by getting rid of the immigrants, that we're not going to be able to have enough actual citizens to fill those jobs?
Yeah, I don't believe that would be feasible. We already have 8 million open job opportunities that citizens aren't filling today. So why would they fill the 8.3 million ones that are created by the mass deportation?
Fair point. I don't have any data on that, so I don't know for sure. That would be interesting. Do you have anything on that?
Do I have anything on what?
Like any data on how many jobs there are, how many people we've deported out of those jobs, and how many people we might have that are...
I gotta remove you, man. You have too many weird reposts of little children dancing. We're gonna move on to Ryan. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to get that data yourself, man. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. What's up? Do you support Trump? No, Ryan left. Moving on to the next guest. Yeah, bro, jeez. We got Tucker B. Davidson loading up into the box. What's up? Do you support Trump? All right, I'll take that as yes. And why so? Well, no, actually, if you look at the numbers, the crime rates were higher 3 years ago than they are today. Dude, he himself is a 34 count felon, and he pardoned the violent offenders from J6. He's not pro law and order. Okay, all right, whatever. Get the fuck out of here. You're wasting my time, bro. Jesus Christ, you just couldn't accept it. So he just kept on repeating the claim like the last two guys. Like, okay. All right. We're done goofing around, chat. We're going to go ahead and get right back on track. Hunter's doing something, but whatever he's doing is not debating me. Have a good rest of your night, Hunter. Sounds like you're having fun. What's up, Ryan? Do you support Trump?
I gotta support Trump. Just be a Republican.
So you place your party over country? Oh, wait. No, you said, do I gotta support Trump or just be Republican? Well, I mean, do you think that Trump is doing a good job as president?
I'm not as political as she, but I mean, I'm still at home. We ain't in war.
What?
I mean, I'm still at home. We ain't in war, and we ain't got through no bullshit. I mean, I'm living life as I'm living life.
My friend, could you repeat that for me?
What I'm saying is, I'm still living here. Like, what has he done that has fucked me over?
I believe that you are the one that is that wants to give me an argument insofar as why you support him.
Yeah, I want to hear something that you say that affects you as an individual in society.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, would I be crazy for assuming that you make like at or less than $50,000 a year?
Nah.
No, you make more than that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that, there's going to be some like marginal reciprocal effects on your life. Like point number one, you're paying a little bit more. Point number two, the economy is going to be a little bit worse because of mass deportation. But a lot of these issues aren't really affecting, white straight men making over 50K per year.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm not interracial or whatever, so I can't really comment on that.
You definitely can comment on harm caused towards other individuals
Well,
with a race
I feel
outside
like
of
this.
yours,
We have.
right? It's called just having empathy, right? Like if black
I mean,
individuals are hurt, even though you're not black, you should care because they're people just like you.
well, I'll put it like this. There's diversity in our company. So, I mean, I'll put it like this. If there's a will, there's a way.
And I'm going to put it like this. The way would be for me to kick you off the live stream and move on to the next guest so I stop
Hey,
my
that's
brain
cool.
cells. Have a good rest of your day. Let's go to get that next guest connected right now. Hop in that queue of you Sport Trump. We're going to go to get Chuckle M52 connected to the live stream. What the hell is he yapping about? What the hell is he yapping about? Sammy, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. That's very kind of you, Sammy. Sammy with the $20 says, I love you. How do you feel about Gavin Newsom and Charlie Kirk's podcast episode? Pretty weak. Like, I won't lie. Not a fan. I think that Newsom let Kirk get away with way too much because he wanted to play like bipartisan king, but it just didn't. It didn't hit. It didn't hit. I'm gonna be honest, Sammy. Thank you for the $20 though. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Colt?
Hello. Yes, I do.
You do. 14 and a half.
Pardon?
How old are you?
Hello.
Hi. How
I'm
old are you?
18.
You're 18. What year were you born in?
I'm 18. 2006.
2006. What month?
July.
Okay. Is that you in your profile picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd actually be 19, by the way.
No.
Math.
Wait, I just want to say, like, what's the point of debate?
You wanted to debate what the point of debates is? That's ironic. We're going to move on to the next guest. Let's go and get that next guest loaded into the box. We got Eric connecting. I've seen this Rob guy in the queue for quite a long time. Rob, tell me you're MAGA. What's up, Eric? Do you support Trump? No. Rob, do you support Trump?
Yes.
You do? How old are you?
All day. 51.
Okay. And why do you support Trump?
Everything he's done so far, I agree with.
Oh, Rob, it's you.
Yeah, and I didn't know you had a boyfriend. You need to break up with him and get with me. I'll turn gay if I could be with you.
Rob, you are a weird man. You are one weird fellow, Rob. We're going to go and move on to the next guest. Okay. All right. Let's go and get that next person up here. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you support Trump. We're going to go ahead and get Elevated Goddess connecting. I think Kendrick would have a thing or two to say about you, Rob. You're like 60 years old, my friend. All right. All right. Elevated Goddess is not connecting. We're going to move on to the next person. Just give us a minute. We got Melissa Lynn connecting, guys. Make sure if you're in that queue that you are an American adult that supports Trump. Okay. All right. All right. What's up, Melissa? Do you support Trump? Nope, Alyssa's not here, so we are going to go ahead and remove Alyssa and move on to the next guest. By the way, if you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio. Now, I will say, if you have Venmo, you should support me over there instead of PayPal, just because right now my PayPal is kind of in limbo. I could receive donations, but the account's under review. It's at a weird point. What's up, man? You support Trump?
Yes, I do support Trump.
Yeah.
I've had a conversation before.
We have. What about?
It was specifically about Trump and Native Americans and what he did, and I don't think you really wanted to continue the conversation. You kind of like kicked me because you said I was disingenuous.
Yeah, I do that every so often. It likely means that you are disingenuous. I guess we'll see. So why do you support Trump?
Well, the main thing was the sovereignty. The bills he pushed for Native American sovereignty on tribal lands. There was several. It was from his first one, but they were bipartisan, so they weren't uniquely set to Trump.
Didn't you just tell us that we've already talked about that before?
Well, we didn't get to finish the conversation. Was the whole point?
Okay. Do you have any other things that we haven't already talked about that you'd like to discuss insofar as why you support Trump, or is that it?
Well, no, there's other reasons. I mean, he's a strong internationalist. Would be my next one. I wouldn't say that he ended the conflicts, but he is brokering deals to settle these 6 conflicts that he speaks about.
I think his deals are pretty sucky. Like, first and foremost, he conceded to what Kamala Harris wanted to do by continuing to fund Ukraine in order to put more pressure on Russia to end the war after inflaming the conflict by revoking funding from Ukraine. That was a pretty belligerent bad decision. And then with Congo and Rwanda, he just struck a deal for more mineral extraction from the West in the Congo, while not ending the conflict, because it's not the Rwandan troops that are genociding the innocent Congolese, but it's rather the M23 insurgents, and Donald Trump has never talked about them. And maybe another handful of smaller conflicts, he's been able to broker a ceasefire agreement here and there, but he hasn't ended any wars. And generally speaking, I think he's bad for peace. My evidence would be the fact that he's a rapist, the fact that he demonized 11 million undocumented immigrants in our country, saying that they came from mental asylums or prisons just to scare people into supporting him, or the fact that he committed the largest internal threat on the American democracy when he tried to rig and steal the election from Biden in 2020.
So, what do you feel about? Okay, so the Democratic Party lost 2 million voters. The theory is that those are all the illegals, most of them that they have now. So if you look at the people that were voting, especially in California, Gavin Newsom just told on himself. He said, "We know ICE is going to be at the voting polls." He literally said this. Why the hell would ICE be at voting polls? If you can vote, you're an American. You don't care about ICE. So what is ICE doing at voting polls? That's kind of little mysterious there.
Likely voter
why would he even say that?
Voter intimidation against Hispanic Americans. There's been many Hispanic Americans and Hispanic legal residents that have been arrested and detained in ICE for 3 months, like Mahmoud Khalil, even though they were legal green card holders, residents, or lawful citizens too. So.
And the Proposition 50 in response to the gerrymandering that us Republicans have done, right? I don't support it, but I don't think Proposition 50 in California is a solution.
Why are you pivoting? I just gave you an explanation on why he wouldn't want ICE there, or would assume that ICE might be there, because they'd be intimidating voters to arrest citizens, to detain citizens.
Dilemma. Do you see the dilemma there? Think about that. Why, literally? So we're sitting out.
Wait. Do I need to repeat it for
under the Biden administration?
To intimidate
so even under
voters.
the Biden administration, they did this. So hold on, under the Biden administration, they did this too.
I don't think that Biden sent ICE to voting booths. It seems something that would be uniquely consequential of a fascist like Trump.
I don't even see any evidence that ICE is even there. Gavin Newsom said this. My thing was it a Freudian slip, excuse me, that he said this knowing that we have illegal voters, because last year we passed a proposition that says that we cannot ask voters for their IDs in California.
However, in order to vote, you have to be registered. And in order to register, you have to have a social security number.
Correct. Yes. And in some places you have to have affidavits and witnesses and all that. No, why would he? Right. Why would you guys lose 2 million voters and then all of a sudden
I see why I called you disingenuous. It's because when I'm able to answer to something that you say, you don't listen and you don't respond, and you attempt to ignore it, pivot or deflect or move on. You just did it. You were trying to paint this picture that Gavin Newsom is super duper bad because he said, "Oh, ICE might be at the voting centers. Oh, this obviously implies that undocumented immigrants are voting." And I was like, no, this just means that he thinks ICE might likely intimidate or arrest citizen voters, because this is something that they've already done, and that seems likely under Trump's fascist America. Now, you then moved on and pivoted away towards the idea that, they can't require ID. Well, they do require registration, and in order to be registered, you have to have a social security number, refuting the idea that a lack of voter ID laws will allow non-citizens to vote, as you still have to prove registration. And you just pivoted and ignored on and moved on from that too. This is why I probably kicked you last time and called you disingenuous, and honestly, I'm about to do it again. I don't think I muted you. I invited you to unmute, but I don't think I muted you. Oh, he left. Well, see ya. See ya. guess when he comes to term with a conclusion that he disagrees with and he can't prove wrong, he just leaves. He says bye-bye. What's up, JR? Do you support Trump?
A little bit.
Little bit.
Does that count?
Overall, who do you think would be running America better today if they won the election, Trump or Harris?
I think Trump.
Okay, that's fine. Are you like, is there anything you can do to fix your mic? A little bit of wind and it's a little bit muffled.
Oh yeah, let me turn off my fan.
While you do that,
Can you hear me better?
I can. Quickly, Amy, thank you for the $10 on Venmo saying happy early birthday. Thank you for all that you do to help mitigate the right. Thank you, Amy. Let's get 100 Amy W's down below as well. So let's get 200 and W's for the $21 over on Venmo. Saying happy early birthday, Dean, from a 60-year-old deconstructing former conservative, and I love you. Thank you so much for the $21. Just know that I'm very proud of you, especially for deconstructing at an older age. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Anne. And once again, I just want to like repreface. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I think that a lot of these funds coming from y'all today are going to be spent on a nice dinner between me and my girlfriend, and then I'm going to invite an old friend from CU Boulder to go to dinner with us, and that's going to cover it. So I appreciate you guys so much. I just want to let you know what your donations are going to be used for the big day. Yeah. Well, anyways, man, take it away. Why do you think America would be worse off today if Kamala Harris had won?
Well, the information I have on Trump is just based on what I watch, right? And what I try to do research on. So I'm not really that educated. But there's this one thing that really made me like Trump. I watched his NATO meeting on his first term, and the way that he was talking to the other leaders didn't make it seem like he was trying to help this country, because it looked like we were kind of putting up all the money whenever there was a type of conflict. Or am I wrong on that?
What? I'm sorry. I tried to listen. Something about the way that he was talking, money, conflict,
they
world
had
leaders.
some type of
Lost
meeting
on me.
where everybody from NATO sat down, and he was basically telling, it was France in particular, he was saying that they weren't fronting any money.
Yeah, well, he's putting more pressure on other countries in NATO to up like their expenditure on their own militaries, and I think that he's even been successful with a lot of countries too. However, I would like to say that although like that's not necessarily bad, I think that Donald Trump is doing many things that generate overwhelming harm, like taking 10 million people off of healthcare or advocating for stripping 66 million American women of their access to healthcare.
On the healthcare part, I really don't know a lot of what's going on. But from what he says that he's not taking any money from that. And one side says one thing and then the other side says another.
Well, the bill that he passed is what is factual and objective. And the bill that he passed defunded Medicaid by $900 billion.
Damn. Can I ask you a question on this part? This is something I don't agree with Trump. I just wanted to point this out. The one thing that I don't like about this administration is that we have a lot of hardworking people that might not have papers, and they're doing what they have to do in order to support their family. I feel like only the people
and Trump is saying that they've escaped prisons and mental asylums, and now he's deporting them to Centers for Terrorists in El Salvador, and advocating to deport one of them to fucking Uganda, even though his family's here in Maryland. But man, it honestly doesn't sound like you have a lot to debate with me. You said it yourself. You haven't really done a lot of research. Maybe what I'd recommend to you is like watching the live instead of being on it.
Let me tell you one thing why I do support Trump. Crypto's a big thing, because I feel like crypto is the future, and I didn't see Kamala really talk about it.
Kamala,
you know
that's how you pronounce her name. Yeah, no, she
Kamala.
didn't talk about crypto a lot because fascism and authoritarianism and an end of the American democracy were a little bit bigger deals. But I will say that the congressional support for passing good legislation on crypto has been growing on both sides. For instance, the fairly good crypto bill that just passed, the Genius Act, was written by a Democrat, right? So that's going to be a bipartisan issue. But you have a good rest of your day, man. We're going to move on to the next guest. Also, I'd like to point out, I don't think crypto's a future at all, if I'm going to be honest. Crypto's cool. It's just not like the future, if that makes any sense. And the reason I say that it's not the future is because it's too complicated. Having to learn how to create a wallet, having to learn the different blockchains, having to learn how to convert Solana on the Ethereum blockchain and Solana on some other blockchain, having to learn that some wallets are only compatible with some blockchains, having to learn like all of this shit and whatnot, just to like make transactions and operate in the space. That like educational boundary, on its own, will ensure that it's not going to be like the widespread future of America for transactions. It's just significantly easier to have money and spend money than it is to learn all of these different facts about cryptocurrency. What's up? Do you support Trump?
What's up? Yeah.
Child. Goodbye. We're going to move on to the next Trump supporter. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. We'll get you pulled up here. Just make sure that we're following the rules. Please, 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 please. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Harry, here we go. Hey, what's up? You MAGA?
Yes, I am.
Age, please?
25.
Okay, what year are you born in?
2000.
I don't know if I trust you. You sound like you're lying about your age.
March 26th, 2000.
Okay, whatever. I'll believe it. Sammy with a 8, Holly with a 5, and Jamie with a 5. I appreciate you three for your love over at Venmo. Thank you so much. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
So he's the most anti-war president.
Oh, whoa. Oh, I see what it is. You're British.
I'm British.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think that?
You have a British accent. British people have British accents.
No, I'm American.
You're not that good at it. I mean, to be fair, if I tried a British accent, I wouldn't be too good either.
I think you should try.
Well, I just did, and I can't do it. I'm not that good at it. The same way you're not too good at an American accent.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Whoa, Harry, calm down. Okay, don't let your emotions get the better of you. This isn't you.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
This isn't you, Harry.
Sorry, my bad.
We're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. Here we go. All right, let's go get that next Trump supporter loaded up and hop in that queue of you Sports Shop. We'll happily get you loaded in. Ooh, man, we have 9.5 thousand people in here, and we only have 47 guest requests. And I think a vast majority of the guest requests right now are not actually Trump supporters. Hey, Films, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat saying this may not cover the tariff on your first Guinness. Happy birthday and stay safe. Let me tell you something about Guinness. That is a great beer. Not that I know or anything, but out of like all the beer, Guinness is pretty great. You know, not that I know, you know, but they're like super like dark, like chocolately undertone. Oh, it's great. You know, great to open up a Guinness on St. Patty's Day. Not that I'd know, but I could imagine in my head, hypothetically. I don't know. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Here we go. Liquefied pudding, says somebody in the chat. What's up? Do you support Trump? No. Not that I know. Yeah, I don't know. Hypothetically, I feel like if you go to a school like CU Boulder and you're kind of involved in like the nightlife and whatnot, getting out in the frats and having fun, you have to come to acquire a taste for beer, because if you don't, you will not be having too much fun. We're going to go and move on to the next guest right now. Let's go and get Dad up in here. Also, like another fun fact, again, not that I know, but like I feel like at the frat parties in Boulder, what they do is they give beers to men and seltzers to women. Okay? So like if like you're a man at this frat party, you cannot get a seltzer, and if you're a woman at this frat party, you cannot get a beer. All right? So like, you know, you have to grow that acquired taste as like a dude, especially of beer. Someone in the chat says sexism. I know, right? Dude, like let a woman have a beer and let a man have a seltzer, you know? I don't know. What's up? Do you support Trump, Dad?
Do you support Kamala?
What a wild mispronunciation of her name. You're like 14. Goodbye. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. All right. Somebody in the chat says, I like beer, and it is a woman. Go tell the CU frats that. Let's advocate for change. All right. Rico's not joining. All right. We are still just trying to find one Trump supporter to join. One at all. We got Double C loading up. Go to put a Trump with your name down with your age down below in that comment section if you want to come up and have a chat. What's going on, Double? Do you support Trump?
Kinda, man. I kind of support him.
Okay. Kinda.
Yeah. I say kinda because I ain't gonna lie. Like this past election, I just really didn't what do you call it? See it. Come on, I don't.
Okay, man. Honestly, I think that you're like more so at a point where you're just kind of confused and trying to work it out, which is fine, by the way. I'd recommend that you watch live instead of debating me on it. That's perfectly fine. Very valid. What's up, man? Do you support Trump, George? He's back again. Goodbye. Okay, guys. I think that we may be out of Trump supporters unless there's anybody else in here that wants to chat. But like seriously, y'all, I think that MAGA's dead. They've gone extinct. They've gone extinct, everybody. They've gone extinct. Hello, are you MAGA?
Yep.
You are? How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
Because he's the best.
Oh, he's the best. What is he the best at? Breaking
Everything.
the law, violating the Constitution,
Nah,
or being
man,
super
he's
like
the
weird
best
and
at-
perverted towards women and girls?
Man, you don't believe that, bro.
Yeah, of course I do.
Why?
Because he said he's super weird and perverted towards women and girls? Like when
Yeah,
he boasted
come
about
on,
perving on them
bro.
when they were naked in their changing rooms?
Do you not like women, bro? Every guy likes women, bro. Like, what? Come on.
So you're now responding to a man taking advantage of a woman with just saying, well, men like women. You're literally just brushing off sexual exploitation.
Cut the guy some slack, bro. Every guy likes women, bro.
Cut the guy some slack. Cut the guy some slack. Says love is rage 13. Would you cut him
Yeah,
some
bro.
slack if it was your daughter who he perved on while she was naked?
I mean, if my daughter's cute, bro, I wouldn't mind.
Okay. All right. We are now going to move on to the next guest. We got Lola loading up. Okay. All right. Give us a minute so we can get the next Trump supporter connected into live. What's up, Lola? Do you support Trump? Okay. Lola is not here. Goodbye. Dude. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hello, Dean.
Hello. Do you support Trump?
Not really. I support you.
Banned.
I
Banned.
support-
Moving on to stuff. Here we go. Follow the rules. Follow them. Follow the rules. Gotta be at least 18 American and MAGA. Where are they at, bro? Yes. I swear, the Trumpies are extinct. They're extinct, everybody. The Trumpies are gone. They're all gone. They're all gone. What do we do now? What do we do now that all the Trump supporters have gone? Have we won? Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, D?
Are you MAGA?
Hey, I want to say originally I was, bro.
Not anymore, though?
Nah, not right now. I'm kind
Let's go,
of.
bro.
I don't support any though. Like,
Listen, man, that's a step in the right direction. Good for you. Good for you. Dude, this is ridiculous, though. This is ridiculous. Chat, what do we do now that we've run out of Trump supporters? I've changed everybody's mind. Everybody's mind has been changed. Every single person ever. There's no more Trump supporters at all. What a good birthday gift. What a good birthday gift. What a good birthday gift. No more Trump supporters. What a great birthday gift. They're all gone. They're all gone. Okay, there's like one person in the chat saying that they are MAGA. Okay, but it says Liverpool in their bio. You're not American. We see Alessandria. I support Trump. You don't. What's up? Are you MAGA?
Yeah,
You are. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, you really shouldn't support Trump. He's a bad president, but why do you?
Well, the reasons I do is because he helped America.
And how does he help America, my friend?
A lot of ways.
What year were you born in?
I was born in 2002 on October 29th.
Okay, well, you just sound young and you're kind of giving like a kid argument. So, in what ways has he helped America? Let's say if you're a kid.
What? Can you please repeat that again?
That would be a child. Jazz, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Jazz. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much, Jazz. Jazz with a 50 says, Dean, you've restored my faith in the future of discourse. Your debate skills are music to my school. Thank you for educating me so that I could pass it on my mentor. Jazz, that is why I do this shit. The predominant reason I do this is so all of the anti-Trump libs or leftists out there can take some of the knowledge that we talk about and share here on live, turn around and pass it on to try to change minds interpersonally in your own life. That's why we do what we do. I think you're awesome, Jay, and I really seriously appreciate you for your $50 donation. In fact, if everybody watching right now could please show some love to Jay down below, it'd mean a lot to me. Thank you so much, Jay. What's up? Do you support Trump?
What's up, man? Yeah, I do.
Okay, Daniel, why the fuck do you support Donald J. Trump?
So, I mean, there's a few reasons, but ultimately, I truly supported him more in the first term. Now, I will say with the, everything he's doing with the deportation, the ICE and stuff. I work at a car dealership, and we have a lot of people that they don't have socials, they have IT numbers, they got stuff like that. Well, they pay no taxes, or they have fake socials, whatever the case might be.
You're not gonna know as somebody that works at a car dealership if somebody pays taxes or not.
No, yeah, we are, because we have to have proof. That's the thing. If you
wait, proof of what? For what?
Proof of income for financial reasons.
Okay,
so
like proof of income for like pre-approval on a loan?
Yes, exactly. So like for instance,
is that something that you manage at the dealership?
So I'm in sales, so that's something that we have to get up front. So like, let's say somebody's got, an IT number, whatever the case might be.
Wait, proof of income. So are they giving you like their tax return to show you their
Well, that's
taxable
the thing.
income?
That's the thing. There's a ton of people that do not do their taxes. So
Well, how do you know that they don't do their taxes? Maybe they just don't want to give you one of their tax returns.
Well, because they say it.
They tell you that they don't pay their taxes?
Yes, if somebody wants to get approved for a vehicle, you want to get approved for a vehicle. If you want to get approved,
I just don't see it. Somebody walking into a car dealership, sitting down with a salesman and being like, "Hey, I don't pay taxes." I just don't see it.
That's not how it works out, though. So you go through the whole process. I mean, it's not just, hey, you sit down and you're ready to buy the car. I mean, you go through the whole process. Then you go to financing. Then financing the banks stip stuff for certain things. So let's say they stip it for income. They stip it for proof of residency. They stip it for needing whatever the case might be.
What does this all have to do with why you support Trump?
Well, I'm just saying, like, going back to it with the deportation thing, I don't truly believe that he is going after anybody and everybody. I'm white. I'm a white guy. My wife is Mexican. I'm in no way racist. However, at the same time, if somebody's not paying taxes, if somebody, they're cheating the system. So why are you against getting those people out of the country if they're not even paying taxes towards, I don't make a ton of money. I mean, I make a decent amount of money, but however, I do pay taxes. My taxes.
Did you know that undocumented immigrants pay $100 billion per year in taxes?
Well, that's not all undocumented immigrants.
Yes, it is. Undocumented immigrants specifically pay $100 billion per year in taxes on the federal, state, and local level, according to the IRS and the Institute on Taxation and Economics.
Okay, so you think, and how much in taxes do documented immigrants pay?
I don't have that number on the top of my head.
I mean, it's light years and substantial amounts above that.
Yeah, probably because there's more of them.
Well, yeah, obviously
more
there's
of
more
them.
of them.
They actually have the ability to file a tax return. They could collect federal.
Sure.
Wait. Of a legal immigrant is significantly more likely to pay taxes than an undocumented immigrant. Let's just make the undocumented immigrant a legal immigrant.
And I'm not against that. And there's ways to go about that.
So you're not against the opposite of mass deportation. It is like giving undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship, so they apparently pay more in taxes, right? Is antithetical to that of literally removing them from the country. So if you're not against the idea of giving them a pathway to residency or citizenship, then you wouldn't like support Donald Trump's orchestration of an attempt to remove every single undocumented immigrant in America.
No, that's fair, and I don't think that that's necessarily what he's trying to do. Now, it might
It is.
and it might be.
Don't deny it. It is.
It might be. I'm not trying to.
I could show you emails. I have emails
No,
from
I
the Trump
believe you.
administration
I
where
know
they say
you
they want to
know
remove
you.
every single one of them.
Yeah, and there's no way that they can do that. I mean, there's absolutely no way. However, I will say this at the same time. I mean, you go to any other country, I've done the research on this. To become a citizen or whatnot, it is way more hard than to become a citizen in the United States.
I don't know if I believe you.
I mean, you can look it up. Even Mexico, doesn't matter. I mean, it is very hard to become a citizen. Look at Mexico, for instance. If you want actual citizenship, you have to own a property you have to pay in, I think it's like...
So the standard residency requirement in Mexico, so it could take 2 to 5 years of residency to become a Mexican citizen.
Right, but there's certain circumstances, like you have to
You
qualify
understand, you understand that it could like seriously take like 13 years in order to become a citizen in America, right?
It could,
Right.
but
So it's like actually easier to become a Mexican citizen than it is to become an American citizen.
but at the same time, to become an American citizen, there's less qualifications. To become a Mexican citizen, you have to show
Are you
X
an
amount.
immigration attorney?
No, I'm not, but I've looked up stuff like this. Are you an immigration attorney?
Well, I'm just simply saying like you're making a claim that there's less qualifications. I'd certainly love your argument for that.
No. I'm not an immigration attorney at all. I've looked
Right.
into this stuff. Like I said, my wife's Mexican.
Right. So I mean,
you know,
point number
so
one,
it's-
if there was less qualifications to become an American citizen, then why does it take longer?
Well, it doesn't have to take longer. That's the thing.
Well, it
It
does.
can take longer. It can. It definitely
Well,
can.
it does
For
take
sure.
longer on average.
If you don't have, if you don't have the money, yes, it takes longer.
It just on average it takes longer.
Well, if you have money, it's different, and that's the same thing with Mexico. If you go to Europe, and,
Unless you're one of like the gold card holders from like Trump's like new like $5 million gold card or whatever. No, I don't think it's gonna like make it take like any shorter if you have more money. Now, point number two, even if there was more qualifications to become a Mexican citizen than an American citizen, why is this relevant towards why you support Trump?
because I think a lot of the I've listened to you a little bit, and and I respect you. Whatever, I don't have any ill argument towards you, towards anybody. Politics is politics. It is what it is. Whatever. However,
could you tell me how that's relevant though?
Well, I'll say a lot of your arguments are that it is on that basis, is on deportation and all that.
Okay, so what is the relevance in your like pro-Trump argument of bringing up that apparently it takes like there's more qualifications that are required in order to become a Mexican citizen than an American citizen?
Because how do you blame him on that then? Let's say
how do I blame him for what?
Okay, so any other president, any other government, and in most countries, it is very hard to become a citizen, and yet one of your biggest arguments is that Trump makes it hard. He wants to deport, blah blah blah. But
wait, what is the relationship between like what another country does and what we do? Right? Because like I don't know if it's just me, man. I don't think that we should accept. I don't think that we should accept subpar anti-human policy.
I get it.
Just because apparently every other country in the world also has subpar anti-human policy. Okay, I'm not going to look at like his administration illegally deporting Abrigo Garcia or advocating for mass deportation as a whole, which will have significant negative impacts on America, and say, well, this is okay just because apparently other countries do it too. Like, man, what happened to American excellence? Something that the GOP loves to talk about is American excellence. How we are the best country on earth. How we are innovating, second to none. How we make the finish line. But then apparently, when it comes to real goddamn issues in this country, like mass deportation, like our immigration policy, you say that we do not need to be that country that creates the finish line, how we don't need to be leading the pack, how we don't need to be seeking excellence, because apparently other countries do it too. Like, which one is it? Do you want to make our country better, or do you want to hold our country back? And that's what it comes down to. Maybe your argument for holding our country back is that other countries are also held back, but honestly, that just seems like a special and unique circumstance where we can stop holding our country back, set the new finish line, and demonstrate to the rest of the world what the true golden standard is.
I get it. However, so you think the alternative of just opening the gates is a better way to do things?
That's very bad faith of you. I don't know why you'd assume what my thoughts are. I don't know why. Like,
No, no,
I don't,
no. I'm just
what a
saying,
false
'cause that's
dichotomy.
kind of
No, it's not either. Let's let's
what
live in this
Kamala.
dystopian nightmare of fascism and deport everybody in violation of their human and constitutional rights, or just have an open and free border. Like, no, that's not a dichotomy. I'm confused.
Okay, so you're against that then?
Yeah, yes, of course, I'm against an open and free border. What? I think that we should have as many legal ports of entry open to as many people as possible, but I still agree that we shouldn't allow individuals with prior violent offenses, like pretty insane non-violent criminal offenses, or like pretty insane outstanding warrants from other countries.
Right. So like what Biden and Kamala did, they kind of opened the border.
How do they open the border?
Well, they let in all these people.
And how do they let them in?
It was open, man.
So
it
did
was
they open it,
It-
or was it already open when they came into office?
Nah, man, that happened towards the end of when they were in office, when people actually kept coming in.
So then what did they do to open it? Like, what policy did they pass? What
I'm
memorandum
not
or
sure what
executive order?
happened necessarily that allowed that, but it did happen.
How do you
can't
know that
say-
it happened?
Well, it did happen. They were busing them in.
The Biden
Literally,
administration was
countries
just
were talking
bringing
about-
everybody in. What is your evidence of this?
So when they were busing them into New York and all those different places, you don't.
This is word vomit.
It's word vomit. So that wasn't the case from different countries. I'm
Right,
not saying
it's not the case that the Biden-Harris administration just opened the borders and let everybody in like you like to think it is. No, not at all. In fact,
I'm not talking
the
ignorant.
Republicans.
I'm not talking
one second. In
ignorant.
fact, the Republicans, like you and Trump, saying the borders were open was one of the main things that caused additional border crossings. Like, do you ever think about your blame for for the surge in undocumented entry in the last 4 years? Because like 110%, Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, Fox News, you and every other Trump supporter saying the borders are open, right, is what incentivized so many immigrants to come into our country illegally. Right? And on top of that, the main reason that we saw a surge in undocumented entry wasn't because they opened the goddamn borders. It's because of Title 42, which shut down legal entry, which then caused legal entry to be backlogged for years and years and years and years on top of what it was already backlogged, which made the legal means of entry even more unattainable for immigrants, which then just gave them more incentive for undocumented entry. So when you combine those two facts together, the legal means of entry were less attainable, and Donald Trump was saying that the illegal means of entry are more attainable. Well, then fuck, you're going to have more undocumented entry. And that's a fact, man. But this is not to blame on the Biden-Harris administration. In fact, it is them who advocated for a bipartisan border bill that would have dedicated more resources towards processing legal claims of residency or citizenship to expedite those systems to make them more attainable. But then it's Donald Trump who turned around, told the Republicans to vote against the really good bill just so the Democrats couldn't get a win, so the issue would persist, so then he could turn around, demonize the undocumented immigrants that are here looking for a better life that contribute to this country, saying they escaped mental asylums and prisons just to scare you into voting for him.
Okay, so you truly think that because Trump and them said that the borders were open, that's the reason that the borders got flooded in?
Yeah, that's a really big reason. Yes.
Let
The
me
legal
ask you a
means were
question.
less
I don't
attainable,
know.
and the undocumented means were apparently more attainable.
So were they not spending all that money to house all those undocumented immigrants that were coming in?
Federal government
Like
can literally
billion-
not spend federal funds on undocumented immigrants per their Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act of 1996 that banned the dissemination of federal public benefits to undocumented immigrants, as it set the qualification specifically to lawfully present immigrants.
Okay, and then I do have one other thing. It's gonna, change to a different subject. There's been several high officials, and it's been talked about. Several. I mean, I know you've heard about it. One of your things is Trump being a predator, whatever you want to call him, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Really, I haven't seen a ton of. Obviously, he's done some weird things. Anybody that's had the spotlight on him for that long has, is going to come across some of that stuff. Regardless, Kamala, has she not been proven to work her way up um, you know, in that type of way as well? Or am I wrong about that?
Well, if you want me
You
to be
can't have it
honest,
one way for a man, and then you make it okay for a female. You know what I mean?
so point number one, there's no comparison between a man sexually exploiting minors and a woman working under the patriarchy to get her way up. But second of all, no, she didn't sleep her way to the top.
How's that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because there's no evidence of it. Wow.
There's no evidence, yet there's several hierarchy people. What's one of the ex-attorney or U.S. attorneys or whoever he was, African gentleman, I forget his name, super high thought of judge, who literally kind of threw her under the bus for all that.
If you don't even know his name, how do you know he's right?
Okay, you know who I'm talking about. I know you do because you do that much research.
I do know who you're talking about.
You do know who
I've heard
about.
of him. I've heard of him before. Some like
He's a
random,
very high.
some random. I think his name is Joe Brown.
It's not random. His name's what now?
Like Joe Brown, I think. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
Some like
Brown
random
sounds
judge said that she slept her way to the top. Okay,
Wasn't a random judge.
A
I'm
random
pretty
judge
sure.
saying something doesn't make it true.
I don't know, man. It just there's been a lot of talk about.
Yeah, there's
And
been a
then
lot of talk about it because of misogyny. There's been a lot of talk about it because of misogyny. Listen, insecure beta bitch boys cannot stand the fact that a woman was able to work her way up to the vice presidency of this country and then give a damn good fight against Donald Trump in the general election. So they cope with that a woman is outperforming them and has reached heights that they themselves will never reach by just saying that she slept her way up to the top by being sexually promiscuous. Like, listen, if misogynists are able to induct generations of men into thinking that men are inherently superior to women, men are inherently better leaders than women, men are inherently worth more than women, if they're able to indoctrinate generations of people into thinking that men are harder workers and women are better at providing to the children and the women should stay home and the men should go out and protect, preserve, and fight and lead and whatnot, I obviously think that they'll also be able to convince a handful of people into thinking that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top. But listen, there's one incredibly reliable standard to determine if they are right or wrong. That standard would be, do they have reason and evidence? And the answer to that question is fuck no. No, they don't have reason or evidence. Like, what? Oh, she just slept her way into getting 4 million votes to be the DA of San Francisco. Slept with all of them. Slept her way into getting 41 million votes to be the AG of California. Slept her way into getting like 70 million votes to be the senator of California. Slept her way into being the vice president of a faithful man who's been married for the last 65 years. Slept her way into running as the Democratic Party's nominee for the presidency with great policy and a great competent mind in her head. Slept her way into serving in all three branches of government. Slept her way into being a very well-accomplished, well-spoken, phenomenal example of what our leaders should be like and what they should do. Like, it's just bullshit, man. You know, and at the end of the day, if she did sleep her way to the top, if she did sleep her way to the position, right, then why did she have a better campaign than Trump? Why was she promising better things for America? Why did she make more sense? Why was she more reasonable? Why was she more intelligent? Right? Are you telling me that this billionaire that has already been our president for 4 years is worse at the job than some random woman who is only in the position because she slept her way there?
Honestly, no, that's not what I'm saying. By the way, you don't have to mute me. I'm not one of those people that's going to cut you off. Won't cut you off at all. Anyways, I'm not saying that. However, you just kind of, what you just said, honestly, she ran a horrible campaign. If she would have stayed quiet and not sounded as crazy as she was, she would have won easily. I mean, she really ran her to the ground. I mean, that's what she did. She
what was so horrible about her campaign? I think that she lost because Biden didn't drop out earlier. I think that she lost because Biden wasn't running good talking points during the
I do
pandemic
agree with
listen,
that.
about how they weren't causing inflation. And I think that she lost because she only had 107 days. I don't think that she lost because she ran a bad campaign in the time that she had. Right? So how did she run a bad campaign in the time that she had? I think she did very good with her 170 days, and the blame goes to Biden for the most part. I think that Biden's a big reason why Harris lost. I'll be honest.
I do agree with that too. However, she did like all her interviews she botched. I mean, she
she botched the debate with Trump so hard that she had him seething on Truth Social, saying she was wearing an earpiece and colluding with the moderators. She botched it so hard, right?
Well, she changed up a lot. You know, one thing you want to say about Trump, you can say anything about him. The guy, I don't support the way he talks. I don't support the way he says shit. Says stuff about, whatever the case might be. However, at the end of the day, he's real. And I truly
he's
believe,
real. He doesn't switch up.
Well, no. I'm saying he'll switch up. That's politics, brother. Everybody switches up, man.
I thought you just said that Kamala Harris was crazy because she apparently switched up. But then as soon as I don't even give you reason to believe that Donald Trump has, I just say maybe he did. All of a sudden, it's politics and everyone does it.
Well, everyone does.
Do you see how you're applying your political bias here?
Well, no, I'd be ignorant to say that anyone doesn't do it that's in politics. They all do it. I mean, that's
okay. So then what was
anybody to say they
so then
don't,
what was so bad about? Tell me this: what is the worst thing Kamala Harris has ever done?
Sorry, I got two dogs. I wouldn't say it's. Let me go outside. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the worst thing she's done.
I want to know the worst thing she's ever done.
The worst thing she's ever done? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know what the worst thing she's done.
Okay.
However,
then why do you prefer the adjudicated rapist that's perved on kids?
So let me ask you a question because I don't know this. What's the evidence? What's the facts that has been set out to where it's proven that he's done that?
Yeah, the unanimous ruling of a jury of 9.
Okay. You and me both know. It doesn't matter about money. If you raped, whatever the case might be, a child, a kid, and there's evidence of it, you're going to prison.
Unless the statute of limitations runs out like it did for E. Jean Carroll in the state of New York.
Well, but how does it pertain to Trump? I mean, I really don't.
How does it pertain to Trump? Because she couldn't pursue criminal charges as the statute of limitations had passed.
Oh, right. Because she waited 20-something years, 30 years?
Waited 23 years to come forward.
23 years. Okay. You don't find that a little bit... I mean, that's tough, man. That's a tough one.
I feel like you're about to say odd, right?
Well, and it kind of is because...
Really? Would you agree that odd means atypical or unlikely?
Nah.
No?
I'd say odd means
What is
strange,
odd?
weird.
Strange, weird? Well, why do you...
Yeah,
well, I mean, I could agree that it is strange and weird that we live in a world where women are pressured into waiting so long because of the repercussions that they face when they come out about these things. But the fact of the matter is 60% of women that are raped never report it to the authorities in their life because of the patriarchy and rape culture. So we shouldn't be victim blaming one that waits 23 years. And I think that it makes perfect sense when we consider the fact that when she came out about it, she literally was fired from her job, even though she won the case. When she came out about it, she went from a private citizen that had a heinous act committed on them in the 90s to a monolith of the left that deserves and is treated with no humanity, with random idiots on the internet calling them weird and strange, and I've heard worse, right? So I think that we need to make those recognitions. And instead of coming to the conclusion that she was weird for waiting 23 years, she was brave for coming out at all.
Right. And, I don't know anybody on here. I don't think you got a large following. My dad was great by his uncle. He told nobody but me. He told me way later on in his life. So okay, I'm not saying...
I'm unfortunately, I'm going to cut that conversation off right there, man.
I said great.
I know, but if your dad hasn't shared that with anyone else, we're
my dad's dead.
Talking about that.
You really want to stop talking about that? I'm the only one that's had a legit conversation.
I'll give you the right to do with that information as you will when you're not on my live. But while you're on my live,
Let's scratch that.
I'm not going to give you that right.
So you won't have a conversation with me, even though I'm the only
I'll
one
have a
that's
conversation with you, just not about that. I won't allow that in my
okay.
space.
No. Forget about that. I will say, however, at the same time, it was weird timing, was it not? Was it weird timing? You know as well as I know that people can be, paid off, paid, whatever. However, at that time, you don't think that politicians, Democratic, Republican, doesn't matter the party, are looking for any and every angle possible that they can find?
Okay. So, point number one, you are not disputing anything to do with the validity of the court case. You are basically attempting to dispute her character. This makes you pretty weak looking. Why?
So what evidence?
If you'd
were on
allow,
the table?
dude,
Sorry, go
stop
ahead.
talking.
Go
So,
ahead.
why do I say this? Well, point number one, like, you don't know anything about the court case, but yet you just jump towards the fact that the person who won the court case was wrong, right? Because, god damn it, the last thing you'll ever do is believe a woman. And point number two, which is also incredibly important to go over here, is that she's a goddamn patriot. Even if she only came out publicly about this information because he was about to run for re-election, she's a goddamn patriot for it. She ensured that every single person that considered voting for him, that was a supporter of his, knew exactly who he was and what he has done. And I would say that is patriotic as hell, right? And prior to elections, I think it is a good thing to try to figure out as much as we can about who might be running the country. Dude, you apply for a job at McDonald's, you're going to get your background checked. If you're running for the presidency, I don't give a fuck if billionaire Democrats are combing through everything you've ever done. In fact, I applaud it, as that is what we should be doing.
Fair. I agree with that. As should every party. Now, on that case in specific, what was the evidence that came out about? Because you're right. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, for
as
sure.
educated.
Listen, we'll go over that real quick. So first and foremost, there's therapist notes from the 90s indicating that, yeah, in the 90s she did tell a therapist that she was raped by Trump. We had alignment between that testimony, her own testimony, as well as the testimony of 7 others. We also had a dress that she said she was raped in by Donald Trump, and it had some of his DNA on it. She then submitted that dress to the court. They tested it. It had male DNA on it. They turned around. They asked Trump for his DNA to verify it's his. And he said, oh, no, I'm not going to give that to you. No. Which on its own is a marker of guilt, because, well, if he was innocent and he submitted that DNA, it would have proved his innocent, exonerated himself of all charges, saved money, and like the potentiality of losing the election over this, or just like millions of people on the left talking about this until the end of time. But if he was guilty, obviously he wouldn't submit that DNA, because it would just prove his guilt right there and then. And he didn't. We also had inconsistencies within his own testimony. He said he had never met her. She then responded with a picture they took together. He said that she wasn't his type. But then he confused a picture of his ex-wife as a picture of her. Obviously, his ex-wife would be his type. Not to mention that there's a bunch of other things that he's done that are definitely things a rapist would do. Like when he went on Howard Stern's podcast and boasted about perving on kids. That's some shit a rapist would do. When he sent a letter to Epstein with a picture of a naked woman, his best friend, with a statement, may every day be a new wonderful secret. That's some shit a rapist would do. I mean, going on and on, like hitting on his own daughter, that's something a rapist would do. Sexualizing a 10-year-old girl, that's some shit a rapist would do. The Access Hollywood tapes where he said, just grab him by the P word. You don't even need to ask first. That's some shit a rapist would say, right? So with all these facts and more, I mean, I think that the unanimous ruling from all 9 jurors saying he did it is incredibly reliable.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, fair enough. I mean, I like I said, I need to look more up into it. I believe what you say. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I don't support that at all. You said, you did mention something when you first muted me that I would never support a woman. That's a false accusation. You don't know me.
Listen, man,
I'm
it's just
married.
like
I'm married. I've got a mom.
basically disputing E. Jean Carroll's claim that she proved in court. That's the way it rubs off. A woman proved she was raped in court. Your response is, well, yeah,
well, like I told you, I didn't know the evidence and facts behind it.
Right. All right. I'm just saying that's kind of the way it comes off.
No, I get it. However, that's not me, man. I would actually whatever,
And I hope if
a
you're telling
woman.
the truth, I hope if that's not you, that I mean you take this seriously.
No, I do take it seriously.
And you come to terms with the fact that Trump's a rapist.
How would you, on a different note, something that has nothing to do with it, do you think that international, you think they would take Kamala seriously?
Yeah,
I mean,
you're saying that you'd prefer a male president over a female president because you think
I'm
that
not saying that.
other world
I'm not
leaders would
saying
be
that.
more likely to take a man more seriously than a woman?
In all honesty, yes, because you
Yeah,
know how
they're
third
kinda-
world countries are and stuff like that.
They're kind of forced to take any president seriously because they're only leading the world's largest economy with the largest military and the richest consumer base, right? In fact, what we see historically...
You're saying we are the largest military base and all that?
Yeah, and in fact, historically...
Russia and China could...
Historically, empowering the voices of marginalized communities does a lot for advocacy for said community and reducing the marginalization of them. You know, like when we look at Black Americans and the treatment of Black Americans 200 years ago compared to now, right? We've seen a lot of landmark points in the evolution of the treatment of Black Americans, like civil rights, ending racial segregation, ending slavery. But like seemingly like all these things were onset by empowering the voices of Black Americans. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and so on and so forth. And if we were to maybe empower the voice of a woman as the president of the most powerful country in the world, forcing other countries to take them seriously, maybe it would do a lot for the social progression and change of diminishing misogynistic values on the global stage.
No, I agree. And, everybody in your chat saying misogynist, it is the world that we live in. I mean, it's not me saying anything false. Like third world countries, different countries.
Listen. We also live in a world with anti-Black racism. Would you say that people shouldn't have voted for Obama for that reason?
No, not at all.
So then why would you say just because we live in a world with sexism that we shouldn't have voted for Kamala Harris for this reason?
Well, Obama had a little bit bigger... They respected him in a different way. I mean...
Right, you're saying that even though there's anti-Black racism, they still respected him. The obvious logical implication would be, even though there's anti-woman sexism, they still would have respected her.
Correct. And that's not me being misogynist. That's other countries being misogynist.
But do you see that you just conceded the debate because you said that in virtue of the fact that there's global anti-Black racism, this wouldn't have given you sufficient reason to prefer Obama's counterpart over him in the race just because they weren't Black? So why, in virtue of the fact that we have global sexism and misogyny, this would give you reason to prefer Trump over Harris?
Oh, for sure. But what does that have to do with me?
Well, it's a relation to the claim that you made that you think that you can like rationally yield the conclusion that you should have a preference for Trump over a woman like Harris because of like global sexism, but you don't yield that same conclusion in the context of like Obama and Romney, even though there's anti-Black racism. So you
it's
hold a
not
different
that I
standard.
don't. It's that it's a fact of other countries.
You're not even following my argument. Can you repeat my argument?
Yeah, your argument is that I'm not looking as Obama and Romney as the same thing because they are men.
You're not following my argument.
No, I get it.
No, you don't. You don't get my argument because I just asked you to repeat it and you couldn't. My argument against you is that dude, oh my God, for the 5th time and final time, by the way, this is my last time repeating this. Jesus Christ, is that you're telling us that you have reason to prefer Trump over Harris because of global sexism, right?
Correct.
Did you have reason to prefer Romney over Obama because of global racism?
No.
So why do you have reason to prefer Trump over Harris because of global sexism, but you wouldn't have reason to prefer Romney over Obama because of global racism?
Because I truly care about my country and I care about the way that it's viewed, and those third world countries have no real respect for women. It's a fact, man.
Bro, dude, you are so fucking like brain rotted. Is this?
Oh my God.
Is this like? Am I like mispurporting the argument here, or is he just belligerently contradicting himself? Oh, it's a fact that there is global racism, meaning individuals would be less likely to respect Obama. But this wouldn't give us any reason to support Romney over Obama, even though there's global racism.
That's not what I'm saying.
But as soon as it's not global racism and it's global sexism, all of a sudden we have reason to prefer a man over a woman. But when it's about race, we don't have reason to prefer a white person over a black person. Okay, am I stupid or are you stupid?
See, that's where you're crazy, man. None of us are stupid.
No, one of us is stupid in this equation. Either I'm like purporting like a terrible argument, or you're not understanding the argument.
I understand it. You just told me that it was racism. That's not even what I was getting at. I said that.
Fuck. Okay, I want you to repeat my argument for me.
You were saying that why is it different for me to support Trump or Obama or Romney or Trump or whatever the case might be because they are of a different nationality. However,
no.
All right, man.
The question that I'm asking you is if both global racism and global misogyny exists that would disparage Obama and disparage Harris, and you yield the conclusion that because global misogyny would disparage Harris, therefore you should support Trump, and you don't yield the conclusion that because global racism would disparage Obama, therefore you'd support Romney.
I understand where
you're
you're
contradicting yourself.
Okay, I totally agree. Yeah. Now, however, global racism is way different than global misogyny, and that's it is what it is, man. That's truth. Global racism
they're both systems of oppression.
Way more lightly.
They're not in the relevant sense of existing as like systems of oppression predicated on an immutable characteristic of your being.
All right, that's fine, man. You're calling me stupid. You're calling me a bitch. You've called me several names. You don't even know me, so I'm good.
Well, it sounds like you're just kind of crashing out.
No, I'm not crashing out. I just don't like to be called names by a guy that doesn't even know me.
I feel like I'm being pretty reasonable right now. They're both like.
You're not being reasonable because you're calling me different. You're calling me stupid. You're questioning my intelligence, but you don't know me.
I didn't call you stupid. I said, who's stupid, me or you?
All right, that's fine, man. No,
all right, it's keep in mind, like intersectionality is important. Both global racism and global sexism are predominant in all corners of this world, and both of these two systems disparage black individuals and women on the global stage. And if these systems of oppression would result in the consequence of individuals being less likely to respect women, they're also going to result in the consequence of individuals being less likely to respect black people. And if this fact in your brain would justify supporting a man over a woman, hopefully this fact would result in your brain that that therefore individuals would also be like that you would support like the white guy over the black guy. And then once you would recognize that your logic would entail that conclusion, you'd recognize that your logic is fucking insane. You shouldn't trust it at all, and you should throw it out the window, right? But now that like we've like logically refuted your argument by describing how you have a contradiction in your view, it's time to like reground ourselves in reality. If you think that Donald Trump is globally respected more than Harris, you are a fucking idiot. I have never seen a UN Rights Council laugh at Kamala Harris the way I have at Trump. I have never seen Macron and Tusk from France and Poland post videos on Twitter mocking Kamala Harris like they have Trump. I have never seen 23 other countries stop parcel shipments altogether under Kamala Harris's America like they have now under Trump's. I have never seen Putin manipulate anyone ever like I have seen him manipulate Trump into succumbing to Russian propaganda and stopping the funding of Ukraine by thinking that will help, when in all reality, it just made Russia stronger. I've never seen any of these things apply to Kamala Harris. Global leaders have little respect for Trump because he's fucking insane.
Okay, fair enough. That's fine. I mean, it's literally not how it was handled when he was president in the first term. I
Oh,
mean, he.
so you're just saying that like maybe he's just crazier the second time around? Well, guess what? That's what you're on the live supporting. And by the way, half of the things that I just said happened in his first term. Like the UN Rights Council laughing at him, that happened in his first term.
Okay, fair enough, man. No, I mean, I get it. I mean, it's, like I said from the start, I did not know about the evidence or anything that you said as regards to that. All I'm looking at is different things that I have, heard and seen and stuff like that. And I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate you for coming.
No, good talking to you, brother. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a good night, man.
You as
Happy
well.
birthday.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Jamie, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Jamie with the $20 says, sleeping our way to the top was the only negative thing about how my ex-husband used to defend his random interest in politics and becoming MAGA. Keep up the great work that you're doing. Yeah, that one really pisses me off. It's just like blatant misogyny. William with the $10. Thank you so much for the love, William. And then Lion of God with the $10 as well, saying, this dude, the world is fucking laughing at us. So real, Lion. Also, Kyle and Dan, I appreciate you both for the $10 over on PayPal. Now, hey, for everybody hanging out with us in the stream today, we are at 4 hours. I'm going to go ahead and end. My body is also really hurting, so unfortunately I won't be able to do any other guests. I'm going to end for the day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for the birthday stream. Whoop, whoop. But I will say that there is another streamer that is doing debates right now. Mr. Parker is going to be talking to Trump supporters for the next 5 hours. But hey, I want to thank somebody real quick. Mackenzie! Thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. Yo, let's go, Mackenzie. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I want to see 500 Mackenzie W's down below. Mackenzie, with the $50 says, I'm a model from Colorado, and I was just published on the cover of a magazine today. Congratulations, Mackenzie. I watch you daily, so I thought I would share the good news. That is really good news. I'm proud of you. That's awesome, Mackenzie. And Mackenzie also says, excited to meet you at CSU. Oh, are you a CSU student? Because I will be there on the 18th. And I am excited to meet you alongside everybody else there too. And once again, congratulations on getting published. That is a big deal. I'm very, very proud of you. Now, hey, listen, I'm going to go to an end. If you're still in the mood for debates, head over to @Parker, get a job on TikTok, or @Parker, get a job on YouTube. I love you all. I'm going to go to an end. And I'll see you tomorrow for the birthday stream. Peace and love, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.